We are live, people. We are live. Welcome to another watch long. My name is Alam, and today we're watching Eagles Vikings. This is another in motion football stream that we're gonna give you today. Couple about 7 minutes till kickoff. I'm gonna try to get these bets in real quick. I got a couple bets I want to put on this game. I'll get the scoreboard put up real quick while I'm here. Found a way to get the um, audio in my ear of the game while I'm watching the game, so that'll be fun. But yeah, we're here, people. Yeah, I got the audio on both. Damn, had to turn the audio off, but we're ready to go, people. Where is this? But yeah, man, shout out Leon. Shout out Leon for tapping in with us. Leon, how do you feel about the matchup Sunday night against Miami? That should be a interesting one. There will be a watch along for that game. Like I said, people, every single Sunday night we are going to have a watch along. So I'm going to try to start about half an hour, 45 minutes before the Sunday night football game. We'll be talking about all the games from the Sunday, and yeah, obviously watch along for the Sunday night game. So regardless of what the matchup is, even if it's looking spooky, we will do a watch along. And yeah, if the game's ass, we'll just work through the Sunday games and how things went. So that's how we're going to do things on this channel. I'll pull up the scoreboard. All right, we got that set there. So we got the scoreboard on the screen as the game goes on. I have the game audio in my ear. We are very set for this watch along today. Excited for this one because my whole thing, right? As an Eagles fan, of course, you want your team to win. You're invested in good things happening for your team. The emotional part of the game, you get really fixated with wins and losses. But like the rational side of my brain and that part of how I look at things, I'm just excited to learn more. I'm excited to learn more about the defensive coordinator. I'm excited to learn more about the offensive coordinator. With the defensive coordinator, we're going to learn how he schematically tries to deal with the fact that his linebackers and safeties were exploited last week, and now he's weaker at that part of the field, going up against a team that has more dangerous weapons for that part of the field. We're going to see how that goes. I think what's going to happen is we're just going to try to get more pressure on Kirk. Mac Jones did a very good job of getting the ball out of his hands quickly. I think Kirk Cousins is a little bit more prone to hanging on to the football. And the Vikings line also is suspect. So I think that's going to be a part of what we try to do in this game. And then offensively, just I want to see the play caller get into a bit of a better rhythm. I want to see more of the weapons getting involved. I want to see a lot more offense. There's no rain in this game. There's no road matchup against against Bill Belichick in bad weather with the crowd going crazy for Brady. Yeah, that's where I'm at with this game. I think I'm going to learn a lot about the Eagles. Um, we're at the stage of the season where like you still have time for changes to be made. So I think if we have, if we really struggle with the linebacker position, then I look at something like the trade deadline or free agency as two avenues to get better players. So I do think that we'll fix things as time goes on if they get really bad. But yeah, again, it's an opportunity to learn and see what happens. I got 4 minutes to get some of these bets in that I wanted to put together. So I'm going to quickly do this right now. There we go. But yeah, if anyone's putting any bets on this game, let me know because I'm going to put a couple in right now before kickoff. Remind me later. Cool. Okay. What I'm doing with my first bet is a same game parlay where I'm taking Jefferson as an anytime touchdown scorer, and then receiving props. I'm taking the Hawkinson over and the Dallas Goedert over. That's one slip. Gonna boost this one. And then the other parlay I'm gonna put together. Where is the defensive props? Here it is. A sack for Jalen Carter. The over on Rashad Penny rushing yards. And give me one more. What was I going to? Oh, A.J. Brown scoring a touchdown. There we go. All right, so I got my two parlays get together. So if you guys are putting any bets on the game, let me know. I'm curious as to what you guys think is going to happen. Oh, why did I clear this? All right. Both my bets are in. We're good to go for the game, people. Game starting up. Eagles Vikings, a replay of a primetime game we had in week 2 of last year where they played on Monday Night Football. And matchup was interesting. Leon says, I watched the Finns Chargers game and wasn't that impressed with both defenses. Tua was fortunate that he didn't throw an interception that game. Yeah, so here's my thing with the Dolphins defense is that obviously Ramsey isn't playing. I don't know how good he's going to be that when he gets back from that injury. I know the Pro Football Doc said it'll be a difficult injury to be like at his best level in the middle of the season when he comes back. Like next year is a different story, but this year he might not be obviously at his best. We saw him regress a bit in LA, and then the other side on the other side they have Xavier Howard, who I don't think is the same player either. So it's what it is. I think the Dolphins do kind of have issues at outside corner where they thought they'd be safe. Their defense has that going, not going for it. But I do like their pass rush. I do think Chubb and Jalen Phillips is a solid pass rush. I like Javon Holland. I like Jerome Baker. Obviously, I like Christian Wilkins. So it's like they have a set of players down the middle of the defense. They have 2 pass rushers, but I do think their corners can be taken advantage of, especially while Ramsey isn't on the field. So it'll be interesting to see what New England draws up to deal with that offense, that defense, because they had a really good approach to playing the Eagles. The Dolphins are a very different defense. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. I think they'll be able to run the ball a little bit better against that team. And then Mac Jones will have to be throwing on different parts of the defense because he was attacking the middle of the field against Philly. He'll be attacking the beyond the numbers probably against Dolphins. I think the Dolphins defense has similar problems as Eagles, but last time. So that's the thing is like they do have the similar problem in the way of they can be gotten at in the passing attack. But with the Dolphins, I do think it's more on the outside. And with the Eagles, it's in the middle part of the field. But yeah, both teams obviously have good pass rushers. Christian Wilkins is a dominant force. So that's interesting. We're getting the kickoff. We're getting the kickoff right now. The Eagles will start with the ball. They typically decline to start with the ball, so I don't know who won the coin toss, but maybe the Eagles want to start out with the offense and get the offense in rhythm because that was a part of the problem against the Pats. Jalen Hurts takes the field. All right. Let's see the personnel that we get early. I see Goddard. I see Stoll. So 2 tight ends. I see Devontae. I see DeAndre Swift. That's the name that I want to see. And I see AJ Brown. So 2 wide receivers split out to the right. 2 tight ends on the line. Yeah, in line towards the left. Smith motioning out to the right. Motions back into the backfield. Nobody moves. So this is a zone. They bring the blitz. This is what we saw against New England. Gets the ball to Devontae Smith, who takes a big hit after the catch. So The motion, I think, allowed Hertz to diagnose that it wasn't man to man, that it was a zone. They showed blitz. The blitz came, and unlike last week, Hertz had a quick like diagnosis of the situation and an option to throw to quickly against the blitz. Devontae Smith obviously had to hang in there and take the hit, but he did a good job. So 2nd and 4, similar formation to the other side. They bring the heat again. It's picked up very well. This time it looks like honestly Hertz tried to escape the blitz, but the Vikings defensive linemen did a good job of like maintaining their gaps. There was no like hole to run through, so Hertz slowed down. Somebody got him from behind. So we're in 3rd and 5 already. Big third down. The Eagles were 1 for 13 on 3rd down in the last game. Let's see what we get. 3 wide receivers to the right, tight end to the left, DeAndre Swift in the backfield. Brown motions to the left side of the field. Nobody moves. So a blitz 3 plays in a row for Minnesota. This time Hurts breaks contain, gets right, gets the first down with his legs. Yo, go down, go down, go down, go down. So Minnesota obviously picking up where New England left off. 3 blitzes to start the game. 3 zone blitzes at that. The Eagles had motion, I think, on 1st and 3rd down to help diagnose the defense. Hertz had quick reactions and quick diagnoses of the play in terms of what was happening defensively. To his credit, I think 1st and 3rd down, he figured out what to do effectively and got the job done. 2nd down, it didn't quite work out for him, but encouraging start. There's a timeout because of an injury to a Minnesota player. So Metellus, the Vikings' 3rd safety, he's the guy who comes on when the Vikings play big nickel. Looks like a head injury issue. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right, 1st down, 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Wide receiver screen to Goddard. Quez Watkins' block messes the play up because the Vikings defender pushes right up into Goddard as he catches the ball. So interesting thing here, no Swift touches, but 4 Swift snaps. A bunch of quick decisions by Hurts against the defense. Lots of zone early from Minnesota. And on that play, might have worked, but Quez Watkins' block is just really bad. That being said, if you're running a screen behind the Quez Watkins block, that's a problem already. So 2nd and 11, pistol formation, 2 tight ends, play action. Hurts takes a shot. He has somebody, Devontae Smith. Oh my God. The throw was behind him. And he went up and got it. Big pass, big play. So again, great blitz pickup by the Eagles. They had 2 tight ends and a running back to help with that. Devontae Smith just runs past the screen. I don't know if Hurts has the arm strength to go any further than that. That might just be the best throw he could make. But we are 10 yards from the goal line. Swift in the game. A wide receiver screen to A.J. Brown, again behind a receiver blocking who cannot get the block on his screen. Or like these are both bubble screens, actually. That's the correct term. But yeah, that play to Smitty has me gassed. Just runs right. I think that looked like that half of the field for the Vikings was quarters. I don't know if the other half, so I don't know whether it was quarters or quarter half, but quarters up the field, and Smitty just runs right past the 2 zone defenders. Enough time for Hurts to crank up the deep ball, and he got it done. All right, 2nd and goal from the 8. Handoff to Swift. Swift kind of stutters a bit. Doesn't hit the hole immediately. In fairness, it doesn't look like a hole necessarily opened up anyways, but he gets a short gain. So we're in 3rd and goal from like the 7 now, I think. Not an easy 3rd and goal opportunity. Swift still in the game. A bunch to the left. Dallas got it to the right. Yep, from the 8, 3rd and goal. Vikings showing blitz. They don't quite blitz. Hurts doesn't find, just keeps it off the play action. Uh, Vikings defense, they dropped out of the blitz, so I think there were more defenders than they expected. But yeah, we're gonna settle for a field goal here. This is the second game in a row that the Eagles offense manages to get all the way down the field, but then bogs down when it's goal to go. Um, I think we had a lot of our play calls on that drive designed to beat the blitz. So like the two bubble screens, I think are just like basic plays to just like give Hurts a quick option when the Vikings blitz, but neither of them were effective. Obviously, the one running play we ran wasn't effective. That's a hell of a catch by Devontae Smith, man. Damn near being interfered with. That's a hell of a catch. But yeah, so on that first drive, right, people, the Eagles were definitely very conscious of the blitz. It wasn't misguided because the Vikings blitzed 3 times in a row to start the game. Now, we got the first down on that third down play, which is good. But yeah, I think after that the Vikings would show blitz occasionally, but they didn't blitz again. And I think they kind of accurately figured out that we were running plays to give Hurts quick options in case the blitz came, and then they stopped blitzing. And yeah, it's just like from that point onwards, a lot of the quick plays that the Eagles had, they didn't quite work. So the first down, bubble screen. Again, none of our receivers could block for bubble screens. So that first block by Quez Watkins for Dallas Goedert got driven back right into Goddard as he caught the ball. The second bubble screen, Devontae Smith is blocking, got driven right backwards into A.J. Brown for the bubble screen. Both the bubble screens didn't work. And then second down, when it was goal to go, run him up the middle. Nothing wrong with that call. The blocking wasn't good, but it was a fine call. And then third down looked like a read option to the right. But I think the anticipation there was that the Vikings were going to blitz, and basically Hurts was just going to keep and run to his right and score. But the Vikings didn't blitz. They had numbers. So then when Hurts kept and went to run towards the goal line, there's like 4 Vikings in the way. So he kind of just cut inside and just, if he could run over one guy, he would have, but there were like 4 Vikings there. So I think you're definitely seeing Brian Johnson getting used to the whole play calling thing and getting his feet wet. But yeah, it's not the results you want to see. Early 3-0 lead for Philly. We're going to see what our defense manages to do against this offense now. But obviously, you like to set the tone with a touchdown. This is 2 drives in a row where the Eagles have gotten the ball first. And the drive had various kinds of encouraging things, but ultimately you bog down when it's goal to go and you kick a field goal. So it's on the defense now to have a similarly good start that the Eagles defense had in week 1 against the Patriots, but we're going to see what happened there. The defense gets the ball now. One thing I want to point out, though, DeAndre Swift, he did look good in blitz pickup there. On the deep ball to Devontae, they had 2 tight ends on the field and DeAndre Swift to pick up the blitz. I don't know if somebody let a blitzer come through free or if the Vikings just blitzed a bunch of players, but Swift picked up the key blitzer up the middle that allowed Hurts the time in this space to get his feet set and uncork the deep ball, which ultimately gave Smitty a chance to make a play, and he just made a great play on that catch. So, yep, Kirk Cousins takes the field. Obviously, if you watch my preview of this game, the big thing the Vikings are going to have the opportunity to do is exploit the middle of the field for our defense. Our linebackers and our safeties, we look weak. And we're not healthy there either. So Nicholas Morrow is on the field to start the game. Nicholas Morrow and Zach Cunningham, standard 3-4 front. Avonte Maddox looks like he's one of the safeties. He drops into the box, play action. We get a bit of pressure. He sails it into Jefferson, who's open 15 yards down the field, who makes the catch. So the Eagles, and one of the safeties dropped into the box, conscious of the fact that there might be a running play. Jefferson, honestly, is on one-on-one on the island with Slay. No safety help over the top because it looks like two DBs went up the field with somebody who ran deep, and that guy running deep cleared up a lot of space for Jefferson to run into. So 15 yards on first down. What do you know? Uh, it's the middle of the field that they take advantage of. Uh, really weird play call for the Vikings. Just a quick throw to Jefferson as soon as the ball is snapped, who gets tackled by Slay immediately. And I think that's a gain of either 1 or 0. But yeah, second and long now for Minnesota. Two passing plays to start the game. I don't think they want to run the ball. Obviously, you can't throw the ball on every down, but so far, Eagles pass rush has been dealt with either through a quick throw or the Vikings having like 7 to 8 blockers on the field. We hit Kirk on second down. The pocket collapses. Terrell Edmonds looked to be almost playing like a linebacker there. I didn't quite see who the linebacking personnel was. It was Morrow and Edmonds dropping down from safety, actually. So we only had one safety on the field there, the deep safety, Justin Evans. So yeah, Sweat and Fletcher Cox get to the quarterback there. Sweat had a really good get off. I thought he may have started a little bit early, but he got a really good get off there. So the motion that the Vikings did just showed that it's probably man coverage with the way Cunningham went with the fullback. So 5 out, Ham blocks, and it looks like Osborne fell on the route. I don't know if he fell because of contact, but Cousins had to get the ball out quickly because he has to get the ball out quickly in this matchup. Let me see if someone got smoked. Ooh, Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is the guy who got free. Hey, contact with Cousins' helmet there. He's got to be careful because they call that kind of shit. But hey, after the big 15-yard play from the Vikings, 3 and out after that. So that's good to see. We almost get a block on this punt. So look, I think oh my God, Covey fumbled the ball. Ringo got the ball back. Oh, my goodness. Covey catches the ball at the 8, runs up a little bit, fumbles the ball. Thankfully. And see, it's those fumbles that piss me off too. Because you're down, right? I don't know if he broke a tackle or if he just stumbled, but you're down. You're trying to fight to get up on a punt return where like you're not open. Somebody's coming to tackle you. You're fighting to get up. When you're fighting to get up, you're not focusing on the ball. You're focusing on figuring your balance out. Somebody comes and hits you, you lose the ball. That shit happens. So just don't do it. Like, I'm down. I'm not going to get up and take this to the house. Fumble the ball. Thank God, Calais Ringo. I don't even know how to pronounce the name. Shout out to Ringo for getting that ball. That was big because that would have been a touchdown there for Minnesota. Covey is such a bum. Yo, here's the thing, right? He's one of those players where, like, he doesn't do anything good that stands out because he does do good things, but it's standard things. Like, his average along certain stretches was fine. Like, it was respectable, right? But it's like, your good things are like getting 8-yard returns consistently and your stats being decent. But the bad things are so frustrating. So that's the thing. Like, if your standout things are bad, I don't care the good things that you do. Even if you do more good than bad, the standout is bad. That fumble is really bad right there. And you're a practice squad guy. You can't afford to be fumbling punt returns. You're here because you're a punt returner. You cannot fumble when you're a return specialist. My goodness, why did you do that to me, Britton Covey? Yo, here's the thing. We should be able to upgrade him. We 100% should be able to upgrade him. Because here's my thing, right? If you're going to have a punt return specialist, he has to be a touchdown threat. Covey is not a touchdown threat at all. But yeah, I'm relieved after that punt recovery. That scared the living shit out of me. We're on a commercial break, people. So shout out to everybody that's tapped in. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Those forms of engagement really help the growth of the channel. Second Thursday night football watch along of the year. So the Thursday night watch alongs will be happening. Just depends on my availability in the matchup. But the Sunday night watch alongs are going to be a consistent fixture on this channel. So always stay tapped in Sunday night because I'm going to start half an hour to 45 minutes before the game starts. We're going to talk about all the football that happens on the Sunday. And obviously we're going to talk about the game. So the Sunday night streams are always lit. They're going to stay a thing that's always on this channel. So if you like emotion football, Sunday nights are where it's at. But yeah, man, this game, I really like that defensive start there. One, Cousins was rushed, which I expected, right? But like the Mac Jones got the ball out and didn't let the pass rush impact him for a lot of that game. Kirk Cousins showed on the first drive that he cannot. Um, so they're showing that Metellus, who is the Vikings' big nickel, third safety, is going back to the locker room. All right, Eagles with the ball back. Let's see if we can do something. Swift in the backfield, four wide receivers out. Take a shot to Goddard, who I don't think can get his feet in. The ball was a little bit out to the wide, but Hurts was placing it between Vikings defenders. So I don't mind erring on the side of just either this is an incompletion or Goddard comes down with it. So we had four wide with Goddard as one of the receivers, Swift in the backfield. Another quick throw, quick decision. I think, again, a big part of the Eagles' approach to the game to start this game is being conscious of what the blitz did to us in the last game. But yeah, here we are, people. Second down, same formation. Blitz comes this time. Similar quick diagnosis. 5-yard pass to Goddard. I think the Vikings are probably happy with a lot of what they've done defensively. Obviously, there was the big play to Devontae Smith, but aside from that, I think they'd be happy with the problems they've been able to cause the Eagles because we're just settling for short passes. Like, these aren't dangerous. This isn't a dangerous short passing game as of now. I think it could be, but we're just settling for these 3 to 5 yard passing plays to avoid the blitz. Hurts is getting the ball out quickly, but big third down. Flag on somebody. False start on Lane Johnson. Damn. Okay, that's not even the false start that I think people would potentially expect with him. The ball wasn't snapped, so it wasn't one of those false starts where he was jumping early. But let me see. I missed it. I wasn't watching the line. Yeah, he just twitched early. Looks like he wasn't in line with what the rest of the offense was doing. But yeah, 3rd and 9. We'll see what we can do. Bunch to the right, AJ Brown to the left, Boston Scott in the backfield. He's probably there. They only rush 3. So Hurts takes off. Hurts can't make the first guy miss. Gets 3 yards, and we're going to have to punt. So with that kind of a play, right, that's the complete swing from the blitz heavy strategy, right? You make the quarterback feel like, oh, they're going to blitz, they're going to blitz, they're going to blitz. You put personnel in the game to run short routes to give you a quick outlet or to block. And then when they back out of the blitz and put 8 guys in coverage, now you just don't have options. And that's what happened on that play. So Hurts bailed on it quickly and ultimately could not get any yardage with his legs to get the first down. But this punt return is going to go for some yards. He fumbles the ball and it goes to the Eagles. Wow. Who forced that fumble? This is a fact, Joel. This is a fact. Too many early penalties. Who forced that fumble? It's recovered by Nick Murrow. Yo, Powell. Punt returner Powell gets a great return. I think who forced this? Evans? Yep, Evans forced the fumble. Clean fumble. Yo, punt returners exchanging fumbles. Welcome to week 2, early week 2, 4 days away from week 1 football. Oh, 100%, Joe, 100%. Our special teams, like the first, what was the thing? No, this was the first punt return from Minnesota. Yeah, that a very shitty punt return. The first guy who had a chance to make a tackle, he needed to make it. But yeah, look at Evans out here starting. When your starting safety is out there making plays on special teams, that's a red flag. Swift in the backfield, Goddard in line, 3 receivers on the field, read option play. Swift keeps the ball. Swift gets a good 7 yards. Good running play. Oh man, good running play there. First one of the game for Swift. Herbstreit sucks. Hey, shut up, Peking. I know what you mean. I don't like Herbstreit's voice and his delivery. I don't really pay too much attention to what he's saying, but yeah, like if he's out here not Swift with another keeper. The hole looked bigger than I thought it was a bigger opportunity there, but the linebackers got there quickly, gets the first down. Let's get him, Swift. Let's get it. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody in here. Okay, what do we got here? Swift in the backfield, Smitty split to the right. Yo, show me a better angle. All right, bunch to the left with Goddard and the other two receivers. Another read option. So this is three read options in a row. Swift has kept the ball every time, and he's getting some good yardage going. He's constantly talking. He never shuts up. Oh, this is okay. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. He's really dominating Al Michaels here in terms of the commentary team. Um, and that's the thing too. He's the color commentator, right? So he's supposed to get in where he fits in and let the play-by-play guy, dominate the conversation. Because when Michaels was with John Madden, it was good balance. But yeah, okay, here we go. Swift getting the ground game going. I like this. I like this. They bring the blitz again. Hurts tries to get out of the blitz. Bad blitz pickup there. Bad blitz pickup. So guys, lots of blitzes coming from the Vikings here. So they're basically alternating between blitzing, showing blitz and then backing out, and not showing blitz and blitzing, right? I don't think they've not shown blitz and just not blitzed yet. Like they're definitely playing a chess match with Jalen Hurts here. 2 sacks early for the Vikings. Second and 17. Boston Scott in the game. To me, that's a tell that he's there to pass protect. They don't blitz, they back out. Tight end screen to Goddard to the left. There's no space there. So he gets a yard maybe, and we're in third and long. Fuck. All right. All right, man. This O-line is not giving Hurts any help. And again, like for what it is, for what it's worth, they're blitzing a lot. So like the offensive line does have their hands full if Hurts can't get the ball out of his hands quickly. But like a play like that where almost everybody gets beat to some degree, because on that sack, the pocket just swallowed Hurts. Pause. But like, yeah, like nobody held it down. Even the guy who was in there to pass protect, I think it was Swift. Hurts was trying to evade the first couple guys he saw. There was just no space for him to move into. Hurts takes a deep shot, throws a pick. Touch him because he's not down yet, I don't think. So he tries to force a ball into double coverage. And here's the thing, right? You can't see what I'm seeing while I'm watching the stream. I said throws a pick before he actually caught it, because the second I saw where that receiver was in relation to the defenders, I'm like, that's forcing it. That's forcing it into double coverage. And yeah, people, this is the result of the game so far is different, but the main thing that's happening in terms of the chess match between the defensive coaches and the Eagles offensive coaches and Jalen Hurts, that same chess match is happening similarly. So teams have figured out. I don't know, again, if this is necessarily something from last year. I don't think so, because nobody really did this last year like this. But blitzing the Eagles offense is a very clear strategy that teams are trying now. It's working, because the thing is that we haven't been dangerous off the back of people blitzing. We haven't punished the team for blitzing yet. We've had quick passes to get 4 or 5 yards out of the blitzes pretty consistently, but that's not going to scare anybody. We saw Jalen Hurts beat beat one of the blitzes with his legs. It was a 3rd and 5 early in the game. That was fine. But again, Jalen Hurts scrambling for 7 yards is not going to scare anybody. You punish teams by blitzing, by like getting explosive plays in the passing game. Now, it's not so simple. It's a thing that you have to do, but we are not showing that we're doing it. We haven't really even shown, like, we haven't really posed a threat other than that one deep pass to Devontae yet in this game. So that's not good. I don't necessarily know enough to know exactly who should be getting how much blame. But yeah, that it's just, it looks like even when they're not blitzing, the Eagles, in reacting to the potential for a blitz, are kind of hurting themselves, right? Because again, like when the Vikings show blitz and then we run something that's meant to deal with a blitz and then they back out, they've already kind of won, right? Because for example, on that third down that forced the last punt, The Eagles had Boston Scott block in to pass protect against a blitz. Devontae Smith was running like a 3 yard route to basically just be like the hot route in case of a blitz, right? It was 3rd and 7, but then everybody backed out and they rushed three pass rushers, right? So in that case, right, you rush 3 pass rushers, you leave 8 back in coverage. The Eagles have one of their weapons blocking, one of their weapons running 3 yards. You basically have 3 Eagles weapons running down the field against 8 Vikings defenders. You're already beat. So then what does he do? He just tucks and runs and tries to get some yards with his legs, and he just doesn't manage to get it done. So that's a play where even though they didn't blitz, the threat of a blitz helped the Eagles beat themselves. So blitzing is clearly something that we have to cope with as an offense. We have not done a good job yet. And I think Alex Madison may have fumbled, but I also think he could have been down. The ruling on the field, I think, is Eagles ball. I think Madison might have been up down, but we'll see. Am I concerned about the offense and offensive line going forward? So going forward in the long term, no, because I don't think the offensive line is magically not good, right? He fumbled. That's a clean fumble and a clean recovery too. Wow, Minnesota. Thank you guys for being cheeks. But yeah, so here's the thing. Who fumbled that? Or who forced that fumble? Maddox, and then Evans gets the ball. So look at Evans out here forcing and recovering fumbles. But here's the thing, right? I'm more concerned with the tacticians. So basically, Brian Johnson calling the plays. Uh, at this point, I have to be a little bit concerned with Sirianni's game plan, and then obviously, like what I'm concerned with for this year, because I think Jalen Hurts is a smart enough player to figure this stuff on as he goes throughout his career. I think this year, I like to see how Jalen Hurts copes with these things, right? And I could see it not being good. First down, read option to the left. Read option to the left. Hurts keeps it and just runs into a crowd. So you know what it is, right? We have to take a deep shot at some point. Cause like the Vikings committed so many numbers to like the box area there. It's like they knew the read option was coming. Hurts throws to his left, finds AJ Brown, gets us into second and manageable at the edge of field goal range. But yeah, sorry to address Leon's comment because I think I got caught up by the game and I had a hard time articulating how I felt. Am I concerned about the offensive line? No. Am I concerned about the offensive coaches? Kind of. Am I concerned about Hurts in terms of the length of his career because he's a player we're paying a lot of money to? Not really. In terms of this year, yes, because ultimately we have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl, and I want to see him get that done this year because you can't take for granted that you'll have opportunities in the future. So that is concerning right now. But also, something I mentioned after the Patriots game, and on the third down, we'd run a quarterback draw to the left, and the Vikings see it coming from a mile away, and they get about a 3 yard loss on that play. So our offense looks like they are getting their ass kicked from a coaching standpoint for the second week in a row. Cam Jurgens doesn't quite. So here's the thing. Yeah, they were going to snuff that out. The way the Vikings are committing numbers to the stuff going on around the offensive line, whether that's the actual like blitzing the quarterback or snuffing out these read option plays, there are going to be opportunities deep, and we need to start cashing those in. Elliott might missed it from 55. So these teams are trading mistakes, a very early season mistake-filled football. Last year, O-line started terribly. I actually don't remember too tough. Against Detroit? I don't know. Expand on that. I'm just curious. But yeah, shout out Manch. Shout out Don Dada. Sarcasm City Raid. Oh, okay, we got a big crew in here of people already. Shout out to everybody rating from, I think it was the Manchester United and Arsenal show. So big up to you guys for still being here with me. Yeah, as you guys probably know, I'm running an NFL channel / American football channel here. It's an extension of the Sarcasm City family. So Eddie's gonna be here at some point. Peter's been here. Murtaza's been here. Surfer's gonna be here at some point. So the whole NFL gang at Sarcasm City is gonna have its presence here at some point or another. A lot of people in the chat are from Sarcasm City. So if you guys are dropping in from the Manchester United Arsenal show, man, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel on your way out. If you don't know American football and have no intention of being here, but if this is a sport you either have interest in, if you would like to start following the NFL, if you like the NFL, man, stick around with us. We have a really good game. Good as in it should be close. Not good because it's a high level of football going on right now. A lot of mistakes happening on the football field. It's early in the season. But yeah, man, Vikings, Eagles, two teams that are familiar with each other. Two teams that'll probably play a pretty close game tonight. So yeah, man, stick with us, people. It'll be an entertaining game for you guys if you're a neutral. As an Eagles fan, I'm not happy with the start offensively. As Murtaza is saying, the offense does look rough. I don't know too tough how much you're keeping up with what's going on in terms of the Vikings defense, but they're basically blitzing us or showing blitz and backing out or not showing blitz and blitzing. But basically, like, they're winning the chess match, like, mentally, 100%, because on a lot of these plays, our plays to beat the blitz are resulting in next to nothing, 3, 4, 5 yards. And then our plays that we don't run to deal with the blitz, the Vikings time up a blitz for those plays, and we just, like that last drive where we just ran the ball into a blitz a bunch of times, that wasn't good. So that's what it is, man. First time play caller Brian Johnson appears to be getting schooled in the early part of this season. We'll see if he figures it out. I'm inclined to keep giving him time and opportunities, but obviously this is something that is gonna have to get better as the season picks up. The defense is doing their job. My goodness, the push on that play literally pushed Vikings linemen into Kirk Cousins, stopping him from handing the ball off. Our defensive line is absolutely bullying this offensive line, and we're only up 3-0. It's disappointing, but we're here. We're here, people. Second down and 15, they run a quick no huddle play to try to keep our personnel on the field. Presumably, it's a base personnel, so it's a big front. They're probably going to throw out of this. Free play. They're going to air it out. They have somebody. They have Jefferson, who breaks up an interception, but that will be offside on the defense because Fletcher Cox jumped. Clumsy offense. Yo, that's facts. That's facts. This offense does not look sharp at all. And this is the thing, right? They have so many things they could be exploiting. And I just think that they have no clue what to do because the Patriots put a very good playbook out there. Offside on Fletcher Cox basically gives the 5 yards right back. But again, to Minnesota's credit there, I think running a no huddle play with our base personnel on the field and with Minnesota's personnel, right? They can put Hawkinson at wide receiver. So now they're running 4 wide receivers against our base defense. That puts our linebackers in a position where one of the linebackers is in man coverage against probably Hawkinson, or we're running a zone with one of our edge rushers, so Hassan Reddick dropping into a zone. Or we're blitzing against 4 wide receivers. Either way, right? Minnesota could have a good look. And I think our defense was frazzled because the linebackers were like frantically communicating to each other. And then obviously Fletcher Cox just jumped, trying to perfectly time the snaps. So interesting approach there to go no huddle against our base defense on second and long. Second and long is an obvious passing down. So to go no huddle on a base defense, to have them in a disadvantageous situation on second and long, it's smart and it draws a penalty. So here we are. Sarcasm City TV rate. I watched my first NFL game here in the UK about 82-3. Joe Theismann. 82-83. Them times. Joe Theismann at Washington back then, long time ago. A shout out to you, Sleeping Dragon. Obviously appreciate you being here. I don't know how much football you still, or this kind of football you still keep up with, but Man, Joe Theismann. I did not expect to hear about Joe Theismann during this watch along. But yeah, that was a while ago. Washington obviously went by a different team name. But yeah, I mean, hey, you're are you a Washington fan? Did you keep up with the sport? I'm curious now. I'm actually pretty curious. This caught me very off guard. Slay is locking up Jefferson still. Here's the thing. I don't worry about Slay against these kind of receivers. Now, I say that, right? Jefferson still might cook because the rest of our defense has their own vulnerabilities, right? But yeah, I don't worry about these kind of receivers against Slay. If this was DK Metcalf, I'd be very concerned. That's the receiver that scares me with Darius Slay. But this kind of a receiver, man, I'm like, again, Jefferson's probably still going to get his because he's Justin Jefferson. But I'm not worried about him just like going crazy, crazy, crazy. Carrying on the legacy of last year's Thursday night football games. This is a fact. This game has been so shit so far. I'm so glad Devontae Smith made that play on that deep ball because that's the reason we have 3 points. The reason this isn't a 0-0 game is because Devontae Smith went up and got the ball on a deep ball that was underthrown. Underthrown mainly just because Jalen Hurts doesn't have the arm to throw a 70-yard pass, and that's how open Devontae was quickly. But yeah, that's what it is, people. Obviously, I'm very disappointed with our offense so far. I don't know. I think if we had Shane Steichen at the helm, this wouldn't look like this. But also, like, at the end of the day, the offensive line has to figure it out. Jalen Hurts has to figure it out. Brian Johnson isn't culpable by himself, but obviously he could be doing better, I think. We just don't look explosive at all. A lot of the quick ball to the right to Jefferson, no, to Addison to get it into third and short, 3rd and 3. That looks a lot like what the offense should be doing. Quick passes to not let Kirk Cousins sit in the pocket and get hit like he has earlier parts of this game. So it's a 3rd and 3 now. Big play here. Vikings probably get into field goal range if they get this first down at some point, at least long field goal range. Eagles, one deep safety. The pressure doesn't get home early enough. KJ Osborne on a slot gets the catch against a pretty conservative zone there. So it's 3rd and 3, right? That's kind of a down where if you're going to press and play aggressively against receivers is probably when you do it. But if you're going to be that shallow on a zone, it's easy to get 5 yards. And that's what they did there with the slant from Osborne. 1st and 10 now on the 42. The Vikings run the ball right into Jalen Carter. My goodness. Alexander Madison. Oh my goodness. Carter just goes right by the backup center. The backup center did nothing on that snap. Yo, if you started Madison in fantasy, I feel bad for you. Yo, middle of this line is struggling. But yeah, this is what shows you that the Vikings have to run a quick passing game. I don't know why they haven't thus far. We press a little bit tighter on 2nd down. They settle for like a 4-yard play to Hawkinson here. 3rd and long now. I'd say this is where we got to get a stop. We got to keep it a long field goal. But yeah, again, like the Vikings have one thing that they should be able to do very well. And I don't think they have anything else that should work. Running the ball under any circumstances should not work. Waiting for deep passing plays to develop down the field will not work. It has to be the quick passing game, and it has to be sharp. That's the only thing the Patriots were actually really able to do consistently, and it's probably the only thing a lot of teams will be able to do against us consistently this year. Again, before the pass rush gets home, Hawkinson over the middle of the field. This is a lot. This looks very similar to what the Patriots were able to do against us last week from the same position, right? You put a weapon in the slot, they're going to be matched up against our linebackers and our safeties who are probably not going to get the job done. Hawkinson obviously is a mismatch against Justin Evans. He runs a much better route than Evans is capable of defending, and he gets big yardage on 3rd and 9. So the Vikings, are in the red zone from the 17. They run a toss play to the left away from the middle of the field, and they get some respectable yardage there. But Avante Maddox was on it the whole time. He looks hurt on the play. I don't know what happened there exactly, but he looks like something hurt. So yeah, when we get into the red zone here, obviously the field gets smaller. I think Maddox checks out of the game. It looks like his left shoulder that he's grabbing. Who takes his spot? I'm not exactly sure. We have a pretty big front for this play. They run a play action, which is a sensible thing to run. Jefferson runs the flat. So he was on the left side of the formation. He runs the flat as if he's like a tight end. And to be fair, he's a he's not like it's not like the Eagles didn't see that coming. The DB on that side of the field does see it coming, but Jefferson's just faster than him, so he's gonna get a few yards there. Gets about 6 or 7 yards for the first down. So the Vikings are now in first and goal, and I think they'll probably get this touchdown here and put the Eagles in a position where they're gonna have to score at some point in the second quarter to keep confidence up. So they sensibly run a play action. Hawkinson is open and Hawkinson scores. So Hawkinson. So the Vikings offense, I think, has the good approach towards obvious running downs on this drive, running play action and looking for weapons again in the middle of the field. They put Jefferson in the slot for the play action on that first play. Not the first play, on the second down play to get the first down. Play action again to a receiver in the slot on that down there to get the touchdown. Mario Goodrich just isn't able to make the tackle. And yeah, this is stuff that should be effective barring changes. Now I think that guy just barely missed the extra point or made the extra point. But yeah, 7-3 Minnesota people. The Eagles are down early in this game. You got the Vikings starting off the second half with the ball. So I'm looking for a statement from the Eagles here offensively. Again, Vikings so far winning the mental battle between their defensive coaches and our offensive coaches. Want to see that figured out on this drive here. Want to see some shots down the field. Um, Obviously, that's probably going to necessitate having guys in the game to block. So then when those plays happen and the Vikings don't blitz, those are probably going to be plays that aren't effective. But the timing of that type of stuff is important, and this is where Brian Johnson has to be unpredictable. He can't be easy to easy. It can't be easy for the Vikings coaches to anticipate what we're going to do offensively. It feels like they perfectly had it figured out what we were going to do when we did it in that last drive. When we ran read options, it was right into a defense that was ready for it. When we ran plays progressing down the field, they correctly blitzed into those looks. And then when we had plays that were basically safeguarding against the blitz, they correctly backed out of the blitz. So I think the Vikings have a pretty good grasp of what's going on for us offensively, but that has to change. So that's what it is, people. That's where I'm at. I got to take a little quick break here. So give me like 30 seconds. I'll be back. But yeah, stay tuned in because it's a commercial break now. You're not missing anything, but I will be right We're back, people. We're back, people. Just in time for the Eagles to get the ball. 1st and 10 from our own 25. Two tight ends and Swift in the game. Read option to the right. Swift keeps the ball. Swift gets about 8 yards. Uh, that that is something I want to see more of. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't be able to run the ball on this team. I really don't. If they're gonna blitz into our runs, our offensive personnel just has to do a better job of dealing with it. Quez Watkins is out of the game. I'm not terribly impacted by that too tough. 2nd and 3, another read option. Swift doesn't hit the hole immediately, still gets the first down. So that there is a glimpse. What's going on? Is there like a no? Okay, I thought maybe there's a fight or something because the referees were blowing the whistle and running somewhere. But yeah, so that's a glimpse of sometimes what the issue is with Swift, or what sometimes coaches I think don't like about him. He could have hit that hole and got like 4 to 5 yards guaranteed. He thought he hesitated. He wanted to bounce it out to maybe get more yardage. Took it anyways. Still got 3 yards. Still got the first down. But you left a couple yards on the table there, thinking maybe you could get more. He does that a lot. That is his tendency. The Vikings again showed blitz, dropped out of it. Again, rushing 3, leaving 8 in coverage. Hurts has to just take the check down to Swift there to his left. And Swift obviously can't get much yardage. There are 8 Vikings defenders waiting for him. He gets 1 yard there. We have to be able to get a feel for how and when they dial that up. Because if we run plays like meant to deal with blitzes, and when they do that, it's going to be bad. Because you just can't beat that play. Having players running short routes, having somebody in there to block, even if somebody's going to check if they have to block and then run a route, they're not going to pose enough of a threat. Anybody running down the field is going to be dealt with. So Swift gets 6 yards there, 3rd and 3. We go no huddle. Another keeper play, like a read option play. So we're running read options now consistently. None of the Vikings defensive fronts that they showed against our read option plays on the last drive are being shown to us. They're a little bit more cautious, I think, of deep plays on this drive. Swift gets tripped up there. It's tough to call a tripping play there, but homie just tripped him as he was running through the hole. Another run, Swift up the middle, get 4 yards. So if you watch the Eagles offense last year, I think a lot of what we did ultimately was kind of rooted in this kind of stuff. Just consistently bludgeoning teams up the middle with running backs. And it was mainly Miles Sanders last year, who a lot of people would say is like an okay running back. Nothing like a good running back, nothing special, not great or anything. But he did effectively do a job consistently for the whole season. And we weren't able to establish anybody last year. And Boston Scott there gets 8 yards, 8 yards there on another run up the middle. So for you guys who are a little bit more interested in the technicalities of the game, inside zone is a play the Eagles ran more often than any play than any other team. Inside zone is basically a zone run up the middle. And I think the last couple runs haven't even been read options. It's just been inside zone. This is another read option play. Boston Scott up the middle. So I think what we're doing right now is steadying things a little bit for Jalen Hurts. It's dictating from the Vikings defense, right? So we're going to keep doing this until we dictate a change in them. And then I think we have a counter punch loading. So this is good to see. I think Brian Johnson has got this drive right so far. Love to see my guy Boston Scott cooking because he's an effective running back. He's tiny and he's not obviously like an every down kind of a back. So nobody's ever really going to rate him like that. But he's an effective football player. Read option play again. This time Hurts keeps it. He's going to find the edge and he's going to get 8 yards before running out of bounds. Again, read option and inside zone. Vikings are showing they can't stop it. So let's keep hitting them with it and let's dictate. Let's make them make an adjustment and then we go from there. But they're probably going to have to bring numbers up and that's when we got to hit them deep. So yeah, I'm liking the approach to this drive. Brian Johnson got it right. 2nd and 2, Boston Scott again, another read option play. This time Scott keeps it, gets 4 yards. Hey, this is what I like to see. Offensive line is getting going. Um, I think this is a confidence building drive for the offensive line so far. They're beating up on the Vikings front, and yeah, this is where I think hopefully should get us settled offensively in terms of from a play calling standpoint, from a confidence standpoint. Yeah, that's right, Joel. Run game is lighting them up so far. All right, let's see more of it. Read option inside zone over and over and over again. Swift goes from the right side of the backfield to the left, back to the right. 3 seconds left on the play clock. We don't look organized. Oh, throw it deep or throw it out of bounds. Yeah, that play never had it. I don't think that actually everybody knew what that play was. That play was doomed from the beginning. Obviously, Swift adjusts his positioning twice with like 5 to 6 seconds left to go on the play clock. Um, Nobody really knew what was going on there. You got to probably put that on Jalen Hurts for not getting the offense organized. I don't know if the play caller didn't get the play in or something. But yeah, 2nd and 10, I'd still probably give them an inside zone or a read option, but we don't. They blitz, we pick it up well, slant to AJ Brown, who has space, who gets the first down and does not fumble. Gets down 11 yards up the field, and we get a first down. So look, we finally had a good counter to a blitz there. That wasn't a 3-4 yard passing play that didn't have any hope for upside. That could have been a touchdown if it broke right, because you got AJ Brown with the ball in his hands in space. There's 3-4 Vikings defenders. Actually couldn't have been a touchdown because there weren't enough blockers. But yeah, okay, we're in the red zone. This drive's been good. Need the defense to match what we've done here on this next drive. We hand it. It's outside zone play. Swift cuts it inside. Swift actually read that run very well. I don't think that the outside zone. I don't think he could get the edge, or if there was enough numbers in terms of the blocking to run that right to the far side. He cut the run on the inside. He cut the run to the inside and got good yardage there. 2nd and short. Tempo's picked up. Don't think they actually huddled for that. 19 seconds left on the play clock. Just a bit of a muddle. A read option play. Swift. Hey, this is what we keep doing it until they show they can stop it. Literally for the rest of the football game, keep doing this till they show they can stop it. This is what our offensive line is capable of doing to defensive lines and fronts. So just front sevens. They are not dealing with us at all right now. 11 carries for Swift. He looks good too. He looks good. He's made a couple mental mistakes. Another read option play. Keeper to Swift gets right to the goal line. Hey, sneaks time. Sneak time. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. 2nd and goal from the half-yard line. It's sneak time. Hey, Eagles fans, you know it's sneak time right now, right? You know it's sneak time right now, right? Y'all know what the fuck's going on? Hey, we're right huddled up. It's sneak time. Touchdown. What are they? What are they saying happened here? Landon Dickerson, are you good? He's grabbing his ankle. Timeout. Man, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. If he's hurt on a timeout, that's bullshit. Well, they're not panning to him hurt on the ground, so I guess he's not. But yeah, back to this comment from Joel, or Joel. Joel, by the way, let me know how to pronounce your name, by the way, if there is a distinct way that you care about. But if it's Joel or Joel. But yeah, the running game is lighting them up. And this is the thing, right? I understand why this stuff may have not worked against the Patriots. And it's not like they shut it down either. I think on the first drive, we showed that we can run on the Patriots. They took it away. I think there was one drive in the second half where we did it. It came and went. All right, sneak time. Sneak time. Got it by a good 2 yards. Touchdown. Lane Johnson says hi, mama, into the camera. 2:44 to go. 2:44 to go. And he goes left immediately. He didn't even try to push up the middle. Shout out to the Vikings for trying to stop it up the middle, but he just goes left, and then the two guys behind the Eagle push up to get him. They definitely didn't get the time. Oh, facts. This is what I'm saying too. That was bullshit that they got that timeout. Why did the ball get snapped? Yo, are they talking shit about the sneak play on TV? Did Al Michaels? Because I have the audio, but I have it down a little bit so that I don't get too caught up in the audio. But like, did he just say it's ugly and they have to deal with it in the rule book? Yo, Al Michaels, you can shut the fuck up about that. There's nothing wrong with it. It is not illegal. We just have a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds. I'm actually pull it up now. We man, man. I'm sure there's I mean like these streams don't get monetized anyway because I'm not nearly big enough, but like there surely is nothing wrong with me using a YouTube short clip. Why are you doing this? There's surely nothing wrong with me doing a showing a YouTube shorts clip on the screen that was posted on social media, by the way. So it's not like owned by anybody either. But let me get this clip queued up. Where is it? Present. Stop screen. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop the screen to share the other screen. Yo, it is not illegal. It should not be made illegal to do something that's perfectly legal. But why won't you play? Why won't you play? Eh? I'm confused. I'm clicking it. Cool. I'll reload the page if you want to be stupid. Or is that the issue? Am I having connection issues? No, the stream is working perfectly fine. Oh, now it's working after I click the reload. Wow. Yo, it should not be illegal to run a perfectly legal play just because our quarterback can squat 600 pounds. It should not be illegal for that reason. I don't understand it. Why are they talking shit? Go get some nose tackles that can stop some shit like that and then get back to us. But yeah, while we're here, it's 10-7 Eagles. Very big drive there. Got back to the basics, got back to what makes our offense dangerous. We are a team that runs the football well and bases everything off of that. This is part of the reason why people talk shit about Jalen Hurts, I think, because he's not the quarterback that just like picks defenses apart by himself, but also less and less quarterbacks are like that nowadays. And it doesn't matter as long as we get the wins. So that's what it is. That was a very good drive. We hopefully can dictate to the Vikings defense to react to what we just did and then hit them with whatever our counter punch is. But trust me, we have a counter punch loading. When they adjust to what we did to get that drive going, we will hit them over the head with a deep ball and they will be mad. So big drive here as well because the Vikings get the ball after halftime. So if they can score here, then get the ball back, they could basically get 2 scores in a row without a response. So we need to hold it down on this drive and get this right. Good play action play. Josh Oliver gets 12 yards and his over. My friend bet his under, which was 7.5 yards on some big hater shit right there. Betting somebody won't get 7.5 yards is hilarious. But he just got 12 there and smashed the over. So I hate to see that from my guy AJ. But yeah, first down at the 38. Vikings not in an obvious passing formation, but they're not in an obvious running formation, but run the ball, which is probably where you would find the most success against a lighter Eagles front, looking for matching up against the obvious passing formation. And that's what teams did to us last year. For those of you who don't keep the up with the Eagles closely, it was week 6 last year. The Dallas Cowboys were playing Cooper Rush, right? We go up like 21-0 early in the game, and or 20-0, right? And the Cowboys, even though they have to come back from a bad deficit, they can't throw the ball up and down the field because they have Cooper Rush. So they decided to run the ball down 20, which is a very peculiar approach to a game, but it was something they were forced into because they have Cooper Rush. We being up 20, we're not putting a base defense out there to deal with a running attack, right? We're going to put our nickel defense out there to deal with the pass. And the way they ran on our nickel defense, because Javon Hargrave and Fletcher Cox are the two interior defensive linemen there, and Javon Hargrave is bad against the run. Fletcher Cox is just old now, so he can't commit to the run and the pass the same way. He's just not an effective run defender anymore, like a high-level one, right? He's been good this year, and I think part of that is because we can afford to rest him more. But last year we couldn't, so they ran against our nickel front so effectively, and from that point onwards, teams figured out if you're down against the Eagles and they're putting nickel defenses out there to preserve the lead, just run on them because they can't stop shit. You can get 5 to 6 yards consistently. And because the Eagles offense was so good last year and it was getting a lot of these 15 to 20 point leads early, teams would just run on us when they were behind, and they would get back into games because it would work so consistently. And then you can clearly see when the Eagles are adjusting to it, and you can load up some shots down the field off of that. Yeah, but it's good to see there specifically on that play. I say that all to say that in the what was I saying? Fuck, I totally lost my train of thought. I saw Martaz's comment. I was just very confused by him saying Getsy. What? But yeah, so that's the thing. It was good to see on that drive that against a nickel defense, against a very light front, obvious passing look from the Vikings, that they ran to no success. Getsy was calling nasty plays for Philly in the first quarter. 100%. Our offensive coordinator was like completely clueless about how to deal with the defensive approach that he saw last week. And that wasn't good. The response in the second quarter was, and I think we'll figure things out beyond what we did. Like, I don't think we'll entirely big facts. The two bubble screens. One, the Dallas Goedert bubble screen behind Quez Watkins, who just couldn't block his man, and he got pushed right back into Goddard. That pissed me the hell off. Because if you're going to run a bubble screen, the guy blocking has to win his block. And then A.J. Brown, bubble screen for him that Devontae couldn't block. But, yo, think about that, right? Ooh, tight throw there. But he threw to Hawkinson right between two Eagles. That ball was bad. That could have been picked, but it was good. All right, 3rd and short here. Cousins, sneak it. I dare you. I dare you to sneak it, Kirk Cousins. I dare you to sneak it. I dare you to sneak it, Kirk Cousins. But yeah, think about it. We ran bubble screens behind Quez Watkins, who's soft, and Devontae Smith, who's like 170 pounds. They're not, like, Devontae Smith is a good blocker, generally. It's just not smart to run the bubble screen behind those two receivers. All right, they're throwing. They got the quick route to Jefferson, who gets 4 yards, but he gets the first down there. That's smart there because, like, teams aren't going to press Jefferson regardless of what the down is, because that's just a huge risk. So they just take the easy 3 yards on a obvious passing formation. So the pressure didn't get to Kirk there, but the pressure did force him to his left and get a throw off. Kind of like, I don't think he got his feet set. I think he was hearing footsteps there, and he felt the pressure more than it was actually there. Forces an errant throw. I have Jefferson over 6.5 catches and Smith over 62.5 yards. I think you're close on Devontae already because he had like a 35-yard catch out or some shit. I think Devontae probably has like 40 or something already. He'll get that. I have Jefferson scoring a touchdown. I don't have anything yardage related. I just don't. Jefferson going without a touchdown through the first 2 weeks would be a big surprise to me. But Slay's doing a really good job on him early. I'm surprised the way Jefferson played against Philly this time last year that he didn't come out, or they didn't come out to establish him, but they didn't. Yeah, Devon. Oh, he has 60. Jefferson has 4 catches. Oh, you're good. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna get the volume with Jefferson. See, I bet that he'd score. But to be, for what it's worth, like the bets that I've been making, I'm just making fuck it parlays. Like I'm putting down $1 parlays that can get me like a grand. So these things aren't gonna happen anyways. But yeah, I'm swinging for the fences. I have a parlay with a Jalen Carter sack, which I'm still waiting on. Yo, here's the thing, right? Why he inherited Jalen Rager's beef with the Eagles is really weird. I don't know if you guys like remember this, but last year before this matchup, um, Jefferson was talking about how like oh we're gonna he just said something like oh we're gonna have a big game or we're gonna do something. He just was talking. I actually forget exactly what he was saying. Jalen Rager said he wanted he wanted revenge or some shit. And then they got smoked, right? And then before this game, Jefferson's like, yeah, we're definitely, there's some tension going into this game. And it's like, yo, we never had beef with you. Where is this beef coming from? What is the issue? Eagles fans don't dislike you because you're not an Eagle because it's not your fucking fault. Eagles fans wish you were an Eagle. We're good now because we got our guys, but like we wished you were an Eagle. What is the beef? Jefferson's one of the few athletes on other teams I think Eagles fans had no problems with until he started talking shit. And now it's like, all right, cool. If you can't get put into a car seat by Darius Slay, because that's what he did. He strapped him up. He said, yo, take a seat. And he put him in a car seat. So that's just what happened. And then Jefferson today, again, like he's got his catches, but he's not looking dangerous in this game either. And I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised that they haven't found a way to get him going or Addison going. I thought one of them would get going because people, right, who maybe aren't familiar with what's going on in this game, the Eagles are weak at linebacker and safety as is. Our best linebacker and our best safety are not playing in this football game. We are also missing James Bradbury. So we have a random cornerback playing. He's not random to me, but like Josh Jobe is a second-year player. He was an undrafted rookie last year from Alabama. I think he's decent for what it's worth. But Kelsey looks old as fuck. Yo, the offensive linemen's spines must get compressed on those sneaks, man. Like they must get like a couple inches shorter over the course of the year. They must have to get like some serious massages to get their height back. Oh, blown coverage to the right. Big blown coverage to the right. KJ Osborne gets about 15 yards. That's a mental error by somebody. Big time. Again, those are the kind of plays. Let's see what happens. So Goodrich is in the slot. Oh, 100%. He acts like the corner on the outside is supposed to swap assignments with him, and the outside corner acts like he's supposed to take this outside receiver up the field, leaves KJ Osborne wide open. These are the kind of blown coverages that happen in these type of zone defenses. Pass them off. Like in these defenses, that happens. That sucks, but like it is what it is. You got a couple of second-year players who haven't played NFL football before on the field. Cousins just throws the ball away on a deep ball to Addison there. They're showing Jobe had the coverage, and it looks like he had good coverage, but also looks like there was another miscommunication this time between Cousins and Addison. Probably was 4 times. It was too good not to take. Sounds like it. Sounds like it. All right, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Big down. Big down. Oh, Maddox is out too. Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, yo, we have so many backups on the field right now defensively. Marlon Tui Pelotu is on the field. What the hell? Yo, that should be a pick. Jefferson scored? No, he fumbled. He fumbled. He fumbled. Yo, that's a fumble. That's a touchback. That's a touchback. That's a touchback. Do it. Do the touchback symbol. Do the touchback symbol. They're putting him out down at the goal line. Yo, he fumbled that out of bounds. That's a touchback. 100% that's a touchback. Shout out Justin Jefferson out here, tricking off touchdowns for no reason. They're saying he fumbled out basically they're saying he fumbled inbound, like before the goal line, not after the goal line. They should review that shit though. Yo, there has to be a view from up top. I swear I've seen that review before. Yeah, yo, he fumbled that into the end zone. Yo, here's the thing, right? We're lucky Minnesota is this shit. We're lucky Minnesota fumbled the ball to us twice and now is fumbling it to us apparently a third time. I can't say for sure that it's a fumble yet because the ruling on the field was a fumble at the one, um, or like a fumble at the half-yard line. They could always pull some inconclusive shit and just keep the call on the field. But if they just fumbled it to us three times, um, that's hilarious. Another JJ catch though. I'm eating. That's facts. You are gonna get your bet. My bet is Jefferson scoring. So this is the thing. I get fucked either way. I mean, fuck. At least fucking score so I can get my bet. I hate it here. Yo, that's the thing too, because in that parlay, I got the Jefferson touchdown. I got the Hawkinson over, which is like 11 yards away from happening. And then I got the Goddard over, which I still think I could get in the second half. I don't know what I said, Mataza, but if it's applicable, then I guess so. I'm not getting this one. I got a parlay that has a Rashad Penny over. That's not happening. He hasn't got any snaps yet. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody watching, man. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Those are oh yeah, that is kind of wild. But I mean, y'all get it. But yeah, man, those things are very important for channels growing. I'm gonna need that if you enjoy the content. But yeah, we're here, people. This is a big call. I think we're gonna get the ball at the 20. Shout out to Ahmed tapping in. Detroit. Oh, he switched up. He switched up. Martaza, how do you feel? How do you feel? He's claiming Detroit Nation right now. That's a bit mad. Ahmed was claiming the Bears. He claimed the Lions initially. Then they spun a wheel for his NFL fandom, and he got the Lions. No, the Bears. Now apparently he's back with the Lions. Yo, why is this commercial so long? At least show me replays. At least show me the relevant replay. It's a touchback. It's a touchback. Shout out the Vikings. Yo, Ahmed saw one game by Justin Fields and says he's had enough. Yo, for real. For real. Getsy put in a 0 out of 10 performance. But yo, shout out to the Vikings. Everybody fumbles. Powell, fumble. Madison, fumble. Jefferson, fumble. Second half, Kirk Cousins. All eyes on you. You're gonna fumble too. He's saying that's on me as if we don't know it's on him. Justin Jefferson, it couldn't be on anybody else. You don't need to tell us that's on me. I'm never trusting Taza again. Oh, my guy, now the shooter. Edmonds was a great value signing. Yo, to give somebody next to no money, I mean, he's decent. But that being said, right, like, I don't know. I still don't want to see him start. Good depth piece, but I still don't want to see him start. All right, 34 seconds, and we're just going to run the ball just like we did in the last game. This is not the way I would approach these moments. I don't give a fuck how much time is left. If you have a chance to take a shot, take a shot. When the Eagles played the Vikings, actually in the NFC Championship game, I think they had 30 seconds left before halftime, and we went down and got a field goal, right? And then after the game, Doug Peterson was saying, he was like, yo, I watched the Jaguars against Patriots, and I saw the Jaguars basically take a knee at the end of the half to just get to halftime. And he's like, yo, that's some loser shit. That's not how you go up against great teams. You go up against the Patriots, you try to punch them in the face every chance you get. And that was Doug Peterson's approach. It was Sirianni's approach for a while. I think this season, just with how shaky we look as an offense passing down the field, we haven't taken that approach. But we called it timeouts. I don't know. just to run the ball again. Okay, Boston Scott. Yo, he's getting yards here. Boston Scott to the 45 timeout. Yo, Boston Scott. Yo, Joe, remember when you said that Vikings could get Boston Scott in a trade? Fuck that. Never. Boston Scott forever. Yo, I can't wait. Week 18, when we play the Giants, and we're playing the Giants, I think in New York, last game of the season. Bet every Boston Scott over that you can. Bet every single one. He's gonna smoke that team in week 18. And we got to rest guys so we can keep Swift on his feet, like off his feet. We can keep Gainwell off his feet. Boston Scott's gonna smoke the Giants in that week. Bet every over. Analytics ruined it. What is this in reference to? Is this in the reference to being aggressive at the end of halves? But yo, here's the thing. The way we're running on Minnesota's defense all of a sudden, it's crazy. It's crazy. Their defense is really going to have to adjust to this. All right, one timeout left. We need one more chunk play to get this into reasonable field goal distance. Just throw it, Jalen. He's going to scramble and take the yards. Whatever. At this point, take 4 yards and get out of bounds. 12 seconds left. We probably got 2 plays to get like another 8 yards. 2 plays to get 8 yards. One timeout. Boston Scott at MetLife is easy money. 100%. 100%. Yo, I want to see Jake Elliott kick it from 65. Fuck it. I feel like he could make it. His career long is 61, but the way he kicks some of these footballs. A kick from here would be 69. Nice, but that's too long. Swift gets 1 yard here, so it's 68 now. Yeah, well, we got out of bounds. We still have the timeout. Yo, just take a shot. Just low key on this play right now. 7 seconds. It's enough. Just take a shot to the end zone and see what happens. 3rd and 6. Quarterback drop the middle. Hurts gets to the 43. It's a 61-yard kick from here. Dope. Wait, are these guys wearing chains in the game? Matt, 100% Ahmed, 100%. So they're wearing these big shoulder pads that kind of protect their chain is going to be like, it's inside the pads technically, right? So if it starts moving around, it's kind of not that often that the chain ends up over the pads in front of the jersey. That being said, a man did get his chain snatched in a game before. Look up Michael Crabtree and then Aqib Talib. AQIB space TALIB. Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree. This man stole his chain twice in back-to-back games. One of the craziest violations I've ever seen. A guy didn't even do shit. Now, mind you, there's not much you can do on a football field, right? But it's like, if you steal my chain twice, I'm going to not be able to live with that. So Minnesota tries to ice the kicker. 61-yard kick. Elliott, I think, missed from 55 earlier. OBJ played a game with a 20K watch and got injured for weeks. OBJ's luck is different with that type of shit, but it gets like that, people. It gets like that. They keep putting the camera on Jefferson, and he's pissed. All right, 61-yard kick before halftime. Elliott's made from 61 before. Let's see if he can make a second kick. That's going. That's in. 61-yard kick before the half. 13-7. People. Vikings start the second half with the ball. Good little break here. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk. So shout out to the 17 people in the chat for the halftime show that I don't have any plans for. So if you guys have any questions, any conversations you guys want to have, get that in the chat. Shout out to everybody watching. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. very important forms of engagement for channel growth. So that's what we're trying to do here, people. Jake Elliott is definitely a lock for all pro. That's a solid guy. Shit. Okay. Would you guys be down to preview some of the games? Because I will do a preview stream where I just talk about the games tomorrow that are happening on Sunday. Because there's not that much to talk about this game. There's not that, because like, okay, so here's the thing, right? The Vikings defensive coordinator has had a great game plan against our offense, blitzing to disrupt us, knowing when to show blitz but then drop out of it, having the Eagles either not have a plan against his blitzes or to plan for blitzes when they're not being called and have a lot of your weapons committed to like either blocking or running a very short route. So now you're running a lesser number of receivers into 8 defenders. For example, this happened twice where the Vikings rushed 3 players, dropped 8 into coverage, and we thought a blitz was coming. So we had a receiver running a short route, like either one was DeAndre Swift to the flat, so behind the line of scrimmage. The other one was Devontae Smith running like a 3-yard out. So again, not dangerous plays, right? So when 2 of your players are not running dangerous plays, you got basically 3 receivers running down the field into 8 defenders. There, you can't throw anything there unless you're just gonna throw a fuck it deep ball. You can't throw anything there. So you either take the short pass or you run. Either way, you've basically lost before the down, because like from a play calling standpoint, you've lost the down already, right? So that happened and that was bad. This is a continuation of what the Patriots did. Obviously, Brian Flores is a Belichick disciple. He is going to coach up his team to have similar traits. He doesn't have the talent, but for a while, he was able to replicate the same results by getting the play calling right. What we managed to do there is just say, fuck it. They can't deal with us from a personnel standpoint. It's kind of what we did against the Patriots at some point, but the personnel that took over against the Patriots was, AJ Brown did his thing here and there. Devontae Smith did his thing here and there. Jalen Hurts ran a little bit here and there. And the fuck it, they can't deal with us that happened here is the offensive line opening up big running lanes for DeAndre Swift, at times Boston Scott, and then at times Jalen Hurts keeping it and running off into space. So this is the thing about this team, right? Like our offensive coaches have been fucking up pretty consistently, but the kind of safety line that they have is that we just have talent. So that's how we've managed to figure out the issues we've had week 1 and week 2. Again, I'm happy that this is happening week 1 and week 2, because this, in theory, could be happening later in the season where you have less opportunities to bounce back from it. I think there will come a point in time where, with the talent that we have on the football field, we figure out dangerous counter punches to these kind of blitzes and how to effectively deal with this. If this is one of the more effective tactical ways to deal with our offense, I'm glad it's getting exposed early, because we need to have counter punches for all this stuff by the end of the season, and we have a whole season to figure that out. But yeah, so far so good. Obviously, we played the substandard game on Sunday. We haven't had any practices from that point to now to figure that shit out. We are dealing with a short week. On a short week, you don't get to do any practices. You do walkthroughs so that the players don't get too many injuries, or like their bodies don't get drained of energy and whatnot. So yeah, like the Eagles haven't had the opportunity to be on a football field to figure shit out. So fortunately, again, that rough start that we had, we were able to bounce back from it just through talent. Our offensive line is just too talented for their defensive line, and we just eventually leaned into that. So that's how that game went. In terms of the Vikings having the ball, at some point they figured out again. I don't know why they didn't figure this out early. I really don't understand it all. You're not going to be able to run on our defense. You're not going to be able to sit back and wait for plays to develop down the field. Drop Kirk Cousins back, get the ball out quickly. If you're going to need time for things to develop, run play action. That's all you can do against our defense. And they had their success with it. That was inevitable, but especially with our injuries. But like, they played dumb for the first half of the game, I think. Obviously, they played dumb and made their mistakes. They fumbled the ball 3 times. Very sloppy game on their side. But yeah, they start the second half with the ball. If they can't get a touchdown, I think we're just going to run the shit out of the rest of this game, and it'll be a bad time for them. Hurts has to be ready to release the ball quick on those blitzes. Yes, so that is definitely true. And then in addition to that, the play call has to give him a release that is worthwhile, right? Because there were times that he was releasing the ball quickly off the blitzes, and it meant a check down that gets us no yards. That's fine in moments, but that can't become a consistent thing. And that is a part of why, what's it called? That is a part of why we were so bad as an offense to start the game, because all our responses to the blitzes were short passes that weren't threatening, that the defense is fine with us doing, right? Think about what the Patriots did last week. They had to get the ball out of their hands quickly because our defense was collapsing the pocket, right? But Mac Jones was able to find quick routes down the field at times. Like, think about that Kendrick Bourne touchdown. Think about there's another couple other examples, but think about some of the plays that New England made, right? If you're dealing with a blitz, you're in a similar position. You get the ball, you got to get it out of your hands. There are quicker routes you can hit down the field. A very good example of it is the slant route to AJ Brown. We ran 3 receivers down the field to clear out space in the middle of the field. Ran AJ Brown ran a slant right into that space. He got the ball in a lot of space, easy 11 yards. That's more of the kind of like release that Jalen Hurts has to have available on those blitzes. So from that standpoint, that's why I was talking about the coaching staff fucking up, because if his only release to a blitz is a check down, Minnesota's going to take that every single play, and they're just going to keep doing it. They're going to force us to do something different. They don't have to change. That's sustainable from a defensive standpoint. Obviously, like I said, the slant was an encouraging response. But yeah, I think what we showed is that we don't even have to put ourselves in that position. We're just going to run right at you. We're going to run right at you. And that's what we did to figure this game out. So that's all I have to say about this game. Again, I talked through a lot of my thoughts as the game went on. Shout out to everybody tuning into this right now. We'll be doing the second half, so make sure you stay tuned in. It's been an interesting game so far. It'll probably be a close finish. But everybody that's watching who I don't know already, man, make sure you get your team in the chat. I'm curious as to see what the fans are. The fans are in this chat. We have a few fans here. We got Joel, that's a Eagles fan. We got Ahmed, that's a Lions fan now. We got Murtaza, that's a Bears fan. We got Leon, that's a Patriots fan. Shout out to the guy that's a Joe Theismann fan out here, Sleeping Dragon. But yeah, we got a handful of fans here, man. I'm curious as to who else is watching. But yeah, shall we look at the matchups here? Week 2 schedule. Again, if you're watching this game and I know what your team is, we can maybe talk about your team and their matchup so far. So Packers, Falcons. Oh yeah, shout out to Daniel. We got Daniel, Sarcasm City regular, tapping in. Colts fan and a big Anthony Richardson fan at this point, and you have to be, because he showed some promise early. You know, the thing about Anthony Richardson that I don't think enough people talk about is basically his pocket presence. Like, this is a guy that throughout college never really took sacks, and against the Jaguars didn't really take sacks. He's a player that obviously, like, we still have to figure out him throwing the football down the field. But in terms of him being an athlete, in terms of him having pocket presence, like, he has a better foundation than I think people gave him credit for. Obviously, the Colts are going to play the Texans this week. The Texans have a really banged up secondary. So Jalen Petrie and Jimmy Ward, it doesn't look like they'll be playing. Obviously, Anthony Richardson, very early in his development, is not the passer that you're going to need him to be at later in his career. But, I mean, you're going up against a weak secondary in Houston. Hopefully, you get opportunities to see him throw the ball, and hopefully that goes well. But yeah, Colts get a divisional matchup against Houston. 2 rookie quarterbacks, 2 very high picks, 2 rosters that definitely need work. But like I said, the Texans are a lot more banged up than the Colts. So we'll see what the Colts can do. The Colts kind of hung with Jacksonville a little bit, whereas the Texans got couldn't get close to Baltimore. They kept Baltimore from running away with the game, but they couldn't quite threaten the way Indy did to Jacksonville. And I'm pretty sure Indy had a lead in the second half. So I don't know how much of Indy versus Houston that I'll actually be watching. But I do think that it would be an interesting matchup to watch if it was a primetime game, just to see the young quarterbacks. Oh, say word. Yeah, I just gotta text my bad people. What's it called? Yeah, is there any other fans in here, man? Get your teams in the chat. I'm curious as to what fans we got here. So now we got a Colts fan, a Patriots fan, a Bears fan, a Lions fan, an Eagles fan like me. We got Ravens fans that have been on the channel. Who else? Obviously, Eddie is a Raiders correspondent. So yeah, we got a good little community going. Man, I want to at some point get fans of every single team in this chat. I'd love to get fans of every single team on the panel. So if anybody here is interested in being a part of the stream, let me know. I'm very open with people. I'm open to people being on the stream. I think that'd be a lot of fun to hear from different fans. So yeah, that's definitely possible. And as always, man, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I want to keep the momentum of this channel going. I think we could create a pretty cool thing over here. Daniel says, give Jonathan Taylor a contract. We need to. That is true. That is very true. I think Jonathan Taylor needs a reasonable contract, and I think that's the problem. I think Jonathan Taylor is asking for a bigger deal than the Colts deem is worth it. And a big part of that is the fact that he didn't have a good year last year. I think you're in a rough spot where, as a running back, if you ask for a high-paying deal off a bad year, like that's a tough spot to put yourself in. And that's ultimately what Jonathan Taylor has done. So that's not good. But yeah, we'll see. They do need a running back in the worst way because Deion Jackson is not it. He is not an NFL starting caliber running back. He fumbles the ball too much. He's just not good. They need a running threat to have with Anthony Richardson in the backfield. I think if you basically have a threat that makes the defense stay honest, because at this point, I think the way the Colts were defended last week, it was about keeping Richardson in the pocket and stopping him from running. They didn't really give a fuck about Deion Jackson like that, and nor should they have. But that's what it is. So the Colts definitely need a running back. So it looks like the second half is starting up again. Shout out to everybody that's still rocking with us. 21 people in here. You guys could definitely be watching anything else, but you choose to be here. I definitely appreciate that. They're showing the stats up here. Damn, they're saying 54 of Jalen Hurts' passing yards came on one play. Damn. But yeah, Eagles kicking off the ball to start this half. Vikings going to start with the ball. They're kicking it off for me right now, depending on where you're at. Actually, let me get the scoreboard back on. Y'all don't need to see these games. Here we are, people. Gotta support my brothers from Sarcasm City. Always tries to. Hey, it's appreciated, Daniel. It's definitely appreciated. You're always in these live stream streets, tapping in with the content. All right. Big drive here for the Eagles defense. Definitely a big drive. The Vikings adjusted to a lot of what was giving them problems early. The Eagles have to adjust back. Vikings offense has been rolling for 2 drives now in a way that I don't like. So we need some stops. Big front for the Eagles. They run into it and see no success. Please, Minnesota's offense, please keep running into this front with your backup center and your struggling guard in Ed Ingram. I think his name is Ed. And I think Darisaw is out of the game now too. I think I saw him leave the game. So yeah, please keep running into this front with those offensive linemen. 2nd and 9. They get back to the line quickly. Once again, strip sack by Sweat. Scoop by Fletcher Cox. He can't get to the end zone. What I tell you guys? Once Justin Jefferson fumbled, I said Kirk Cousins is gonna get in on the action. 4 fumbles from the Vikings. Their quarterback, their running back, their star receiver, and their punt returner, backup receiver. Everybody's fumbling. The Vikings just decided, you know what? Today we're fucking up. Oh, I bet on a Josh Sweat sack too. No, I bet on a Carter sack. I almost bet on a. You know what it was? I told my boy before the game. I said if Darisaw doesn't play, I'm betting on a Josh Sweat sack. If Darisaw plays, I'll nah. But Darisaw leaves the game, and what happens? Josh Sweat gets a sack. So Minnesota gets all that momentum, and here's what they do with it. They go back to stuff that isn't gonna work. They ran it into the Eagles front, which I knew wasn't going to work. And then they did a play that Cousins had to sit back and let the play develop down the field. He's down to 1, sneak time. Yo, the D-line got so much better because you know what it is, Joel? Last year, our D-line was one-dimensional. So it made dealing with the D-line a little bit better. There was a clear personnel that was going to be effective against the run. There was a clear personnel that was going to be effective against the pass, right? Yeah, he's short. But we're going to get this in on the sneak. Yo, get the Jalen Hurts' whole body across the end zone. Yo, get the we're probably going to go for 2 here, right? Probably. Philly win. Dope. So you know what I've been seeing on the sneaks this year, right? Hurts is not even sneaking up the middle. He's getting the ball, letting guys pile up in the middle and just falling to the left. So once that's adjusted to, and then we go up the middle again, it's going to be trouble for somebody. But yeah, that sneak is cash money. Jalen Hurts, 2 rushing touchdowns, and we get the 13-point lead. But yeah, I got cut off by the DeAndre Swift run to what I was saying. What I was saying was that Kirk Cousins, like the 2 things the Vikings can't do against our defense are plays down the field that require Kirk Cousins waiting for the play to develop and hanging on to the ball in the pocket and running the ball against our fronts. What did they do to start the second half after 2 very successful drives of quick passes and targeting the middle of the field? The things that are very obviously the ways to get at this defense right now. They run the ball into the front, and then they have Kirk Cousins chilling in the pocket. What did I tell you about drunk load? What did I tell you about Cousins? Once Jefferson fumbled, the first thing I said was Cousins is getting in on the act. They're going to all fumble as a group. Who's left? Let me see. Oh, Addison. Addison's not getting the ball. Osborne's not getting the ball. Everybody who's actually getting the ball in this game is fumbling. Madison sees the ball a lot. He fumbled. Cousins obviously is the quarterback. He fumbled. The punt returner is going to see action. He fumbled too. Jefferson's their best player. He fumbled as well. Whoever gets enough of the ball will fumble in this game because that's just what they did. If you have the Eagles defense in fantasy, you're eating. Oh, I'm going up against the Eagles defense in league. Fuck. What league is that? Because I'm probably going to catch a. Oh, no. No, I'm going up against the Eagles twice. That's pain. There's actually so many fantasy players in this game. Yo, who has... Wait, did I not switch that? I fucked up. I thought to switch that, but I didn't. I left Madison in the starting lineup. But in my head this morning, I was like, I should switch him out of it. Why did I do that? That's bad. Yo, Madison has -1 fantasy points right now. I got to check my lineups more often. Justin Jefferson eliminated his IG comments at halftime. You're joking. Is this a real thing? Can anybody else validate this? Let me check Twitter right now. That's not a real thing. Vontae Maddox and Quez Watkins are done for the night. Yo, so the record for fumbles in a single game is 10, and I I think we're already at 6 so far in this game. Like that's not lost fumbles, just fumbles in general. Because Covey fumbled, the Vikings fumbled 4 times, and that was there another Eagles player to fumble that we recovered? I think it's 5. So hold up, what does Jefferson's stat line look like? Because he had 2 big catches, but everything else hasn't really been anything. He's got 5 for 57, 2 chunk plays, but like 3 just nothing passes. Hold on, Justin Jefferson comments. Play action, pressure in his face. They ran a screen off the play action, which is very smart, but an amazing play from Zach Cunningham to wrap that up quickly. Solid, solid. It's a good play call too. I like that play call. But again, just like good play by the Eagles defense. Let's see what happened. Oh, Cunningham just saw it coming the whole time. So he was in man coverage on Madison. Good anticipation. So 2nd and 15. Reddick forcing the check down to Madison in the flat. Lost half a yard there, 3rd and 15. 14 fantasy points from the Eagles defense. 100%. Yo, I'm getting cooked. I'm getting cooked in that matchup so far. My matchup against the Eagles defense. All right, 3rd and 15. Eagles defense doing their thing so far in this half. Look, we might be one of those seasons where if we can get a linebacker in and we can get Sidney Brown ready to play football, our defense might be like dominant. Cousins throwing to a strapped up Addison. Man, shout out Josh Jobe. Josh Jobe has been holding it down so far in this game, 100%. He has not been exploited. He is making his first meaningful snaps at corner, 2nd-year player. He was an undrafted free agent out of Alabama last year. Wasn't drafted because of character concerns. Was a draftable player by most scouts' understanding. But yeah, he's done really well. Eli Ricks, another Bama player that I think was not drafted because of character concerns, is now in playing special teams. So yeah, we got a couple of them. Hopefully we can get some good production from them in the future. But yeah, I'm looking up on Twitter. Let me take Jefferson out. Maybe, because his thing, Joel, I'm looking up the Justin Jefferson comments thing. I don't see anything on Twitter. Wait, did you notice that yourself? Is that original reporting? Is that, in motion football breaking news? Is this in motion football breaking news? Did you find this yourself? I'm curious now. Eagles with the ball. Hey, read option inside zone. That's the formula. Keeps the ball. I think this is a deep shot. It doesn't materialize. He scrambles to the left and is going to just take. Hey, Jordan Hicks, you don't have to be physical like that. Driving his head into the ground. What the hell? Original reporting. So, people, this is in motion football breaking news from Joel. You know what I'm saying? A chat OG on this channel. Breaking original news. Jefferson is rattled at halftime. But yeah, so happy with Josh Jobe's performance today so far. More inside zone. Swift gets 5 yards. Yo, let's just run that every single play. Inside zone or a read option on every single play. Man. 3rd and 4. We got Swift in the backfield. I think 3 receivers to the right, with Goddard being one of them. No, 2 tight ends to the right, Goddard and Stoll. This is probably some type of action to that side, like a receiver screen or something. No, Stoll is running a route. He takes a deep shot. He's got a guy. Devontae Smith touchdown. House call. House call. 50-yard touchdown, 60-yard touchdown. Devontae Smith. What a play. Jalen Hurts. That's how you respond. That's how you respond to a shaky first quarter. Let's go. Hey, Murtaza, the game's finally starting to look how you want it to look. I think things are just going to get uglier for Minnesota. Yo, badly blown coverage there. So the corner on Minnesota, the way he's playing one side of Devontae, that's suggesting that he believes there's supposed to be help on the other side. So he's playing that play as if there's a deep safety on the field, who there is not a deep safety on the field. I don't know if where that player ended up. I feel like somebody blitzed because Hurts had to take a shot there. But man, what a play. Devontae Smith, 2 touchdowns to start the season. Devontae will be our best player this season. Yo, he's just been smoking zones in this game. That first deep ball, again, the zone coverage, I think it was quarters on that side of the field, just ran right past the safety. Just I'm running past the guy that's going to pass me onto the safety, then I'm going to run by him too. But yeah, man, Devontae, special player, special player. And he's got the ice on this year. He's got the crazy jewelry going on. How many fantasy points does he have? Because I have him in the league. I think I'm going up against him I'm going up against him in another. Guys, I'm in a fantasy league where the guy has Devontae Smith, the Eagles defense, and Jake Elliott. Getting smoked. I have the wrong Eagles in that matchup because I have Swift, AJ Brown, and Goddard. But hopefully those guys can get some fantasy points to end off this matchup. Oh, yo, it's the league I'm in with Murtaza. Oh, you know what it is? The other guy has Hurts and Goddard. I have Devontae Swift and Jefferson. So it's an even matchup so far, but I'm slightly ahead. But yeah, this second half has been about as good as you could hope for. Eagles defense comes out, sets the tone, gets a strip sack. Obviously, the offense punches it in. You know, nothing too crazy, just casual. Then the Eagles defense gets a stop. We get the ball back. Deep touchdown, house call. Devontae Smith down the field. It's a thing of beauty. Guys, that Hurts deep ball. That Hurts deep ball is amazing. Now, because he doesn't have the arm strength, he does need to get his feet set up. He's not the kind of quarterback that can just, with no footwork, just all arm, just let it go down the field. But if you give him a chance to get his feet set, he hits these receivers down the field at a pretty high rate. And that's, I think, a big part of like this football that we've seen offensively from the second half onwards. This is what Philadelphia Eagles football has to be with these guys. We're going to punish you with the running game, whether that's the running backs or Jalen Hurts, right? We're going to punish you there. We're going to force you to have to commit numbers down towards the line of scrimmage, like in the defensive front. And then we're going to punish you down the field because with AJ Brown and Devontae, we have killers on go routes. These are two players that I think outperformed a lot of other. I think most of the other receivers in the NFL on production on go routes specifically, right? And a part of that is the offensive scheme. A part of that is Jalen Hurts. There's obviously a lot of very good receivers in the NFL, but that's our scheme. That's what we have to be doing. It's the deep ball and the running game. You stretch a defense out to both sides, you put them in a lot of trouble. Must be good to have a team that's good all around. We haven't had that in years. It's a lot of fun. The last year and a half, or like this year and last year, have been very good. But look, Daniel, you guys have a big part of our offensive tactics from last year. Shane Steichen was a big part of why we were good. So far, early on this year, we're still recovering from that because we've given the job to somebody who has no experience. And I think he's going to grow into the position, but obviously as he grows into the position, it hasn't been fun. But Shane Steichen is an amazing play caller, man. That play calling season he had last year is one of the seasons, like one of the play calling performances that I've been happiest with. Like it's up there with the best Andy Reid performances and the best Doug Peterson performances, who are both Super Bowl winning head coaches. Now, play calling isn't all that a head coach does. Steichen has to prove a lot of the other parts of the head coach position, but the play calling part of it, he's amazing at. Vikings start this drive running right into the front again, making that similar mistake. This time, smartly, they have a play action play to Jefferson. Gets the first down, gets 11 yards or so. They are going to keep it rolling, quick tempo, keep our personnel on the field. Blitz. Cousins has to check it down because he was about to get smoked. Edmonds wraps up Josh Oliver. So, yo, where's Joel? In terms of Edmonds being a good signing, yo, he looks like a very good tackler. Looks like a very solid tackler because that wasn't the easiest tackle there. A guy who's much bigger than you in open space. Nicholas Morrow is the guy who got there on the blitz. Good clean contact on Cousins. No roughing the passer there. Our coaching is still not perfect. 100%. Brian Johnson is growing into the role. I still have faith in him, but he has to continue to get better. Ooh. Jefferson is complaining for a flag there. The reason why that's not going to get called a flag is that Jarius Slay is making a play on the ball there. DBs are allowed to make contact when they play the ball because if the ball isn't okay, that's less making a play on the ball than I initially saw. That could have been called there. That could have been called there. Jefferson is not happy with that. It's cool though. 3rd and 10 is fine. You have a chance to make up for it. That probably just wouldn't put you in like 3rd and 1 or 2. The orange dyed beard isn't it? Yo, 100%. Like, what is this like Blake Griffin ginger beard shit? Addison finally gets the better of Job. The biggest problem there with Job is not knowing what was going on, because I don't think his positioning was actually bad. He was in the right spot, but the thing there is that he didn't know where the ball was, where like what was going on. Had he known where the ball was, he could have made a play on that ball. He could have tackled Addison. He could have done something better there, but ultimately, look, the second mistake there is on Edmonds. So when Addison goes up the field and then fakes like he's going out, Edmonds then drops down to Hawkinson as if he has nothing to worry about anymore. So then now basically there's no safety in the deep part of the field in the middle. Job is one-on-one on an island. And again, he's right there. You're right there, man. You just have to, again, you can make a play on the ball. You could catch the ball if you have a better idea of what's going on. You could make the tackle. He does none. So ultimately, at the point of actually like the moment when the ball is there, it does very poorly from that point onwards. But look, he was right there. You just happens with a player that's making their first start. Can't have that happen anymore. That's got to be the only time that ever happens, but it is what it is. But in the name of Edmonds, talking about Edmonds, right? He's made some good plays, like tackling guys. That play there when he's the center fielder up in the middle of the field as a safety, it did a very bad job there. He did a very bad job there. But yeah, people, obviously Eagles still up 2 scores. Still a lot of football to go. But the way we've been running the ball, I don't think we have anything to worry about. But yeah, the ginger beard is wild. The ginger beard is wild. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's still tapped in from the raid. Again, I don't know if you guys are NFL fans or not, but I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. It's been a good watch along so far. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Very important forms of engagement for channel growth. Boston Scott's being evaluated for a concussion. That's not good. Prime next to this. That's really great. Would I watch the game? Look, I'm scrolling through Twitter to see if there's things that I'm missing. But yeah, Boston Scott not being in the game is not a good thing. That is not a good thing because he was effective while he was running the ball. Swift has obviously been effective too, but now Rashad Penny has to play. We'll see how he does. Uh, yeah, obviously, I think the Eagles are going to need to like get control of the game established here. Big play by the Vikings. I think the Colts can get 11 wins this year. That would require them to go 11-5, 11-5 down the stretch, which I don't see happening. Um, Obviously, they competed well against the Jaguars. Jaguars are a pretty good team. But yeah, that might be a bit much for this year, my guy. Bright future though. I do like a lot of the framework of what's going on in Indy. They got to get the running back situation sorted out. They got to get some other things sorted out. Devontae Smith 123 on 3 catches. Literally, Jalen Hurts has 24 yards to other receivers on the Eagles. Dallas Goedert has to get some run too at some point. This is a criminal usage of Dallas Goedert. Again, our offensive coordinator is really growing into this. Like it's not been good so far. Yo, why can we not just run the ball? Okay, well at least he got it to Goddard there. 9 yards. Can we get back to the inside zone and the read option now? They're saying Johnson is dealing with some groin stiffness or something like that, but he's still in the game, so that's cool. Hopefully, we can get another touchdown here and wrap this game up a little bit early. Get some guys rest. Swift read option to the right, bounces it outside, makes a guy miss, and gets a nice run going. There's a holding call, which on a play like that, to me, probably going to be a holding. Oh, sorry, it's a penalty call. It'll probably be a hold. Yep, holding offense on Landon Dickerson. That's annoying. I mean, it seems relevant because to where he ran, that's probably something that had an impact on the play. Yeah, he held. Well, to be honest, he held for like half a second there. But like whatever. It is relevant to where he ran. All right, second and 11. That's the shitty way to have that second and one turn out, but it is what it is. That's a really rough holding penalty. We were in second and short, and now we're in second and long. It really wasn't worth it to hold for that 1 second. Again, they did it again where they showed blitz. They dropped 8 guys into coverage and forced Jalen Hurts to take the check down. So again, when you do that and we're not ready to deal with it, you have to just take the check down. And we get about 4 yards, and we're now in third and long again. Again, I don't know why we could. I mean, we ran the ball and it resulted in a holding play, but like the running game is going good. Just force them to adjust to it again. Defense, false start on Swift. Four penalties on the Eagles, none for Minnesota. That's rough. That's really rough. Well, third and 11, people. We went from second and one to third and 11 because of 2 penalties. You love to see it. Jalen Hurts again, 8 people in coverage, 3 people. We have to take the check down, and that is again us just going up against stuff that we're not we haven't been effective against for a while now. Well, Minnesota gets the ball back. Defense gonna have to do their thing again. Again, we went into this game without Blankenship and Bradbury, and then we lost Devontae Maddox, and I think we lost somebody else. I don't know. That might have been it. But yeah, lots of injuries in the secondary. None of them look serious, so that's good. But we're gonna have to. Good punt. Good pump. Good pump. So yeah, Vikings get the ball, 6:19 to go in the third. Gonna look to get some momentum back. Judging by your commentary this game, I believe the Patriots is a 10+ win team. Uh Here's the thing, right? The Patriots, the Patriots, the Patriots defense I actually think is very good. I think their defense is very good. My only thing with the Patriots is like the composition of their team. It doesn't feel like one that's gonna get like, okay, better way to say this. I don't know if their offense is gonna be able to get them the wins that their defense puts them in a position to get. I think their defense will put them in a position to win a lot of games against a lot of very good teams. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but in a very tough AFC, I feel like their defense will give them a shot to win against anybody. Against anybody. I just don't know how many wins their offense are actually going to get. I don't think they're going to be a bad team per se. Like, do I think they're going to get less than 8 wins? No, not at all. No, but yeah, like 10 wins maybe. 10 wins maybe. Yeah, it's not unreasonable. It's just a tough division, man. It's a tough division, it's a tough conference. The defense is very good. It's just about how many wins can Mac Jones get with less than like subpar receivers and like good running game. I think the running game is going to be very good. I honestly think if they got DeAndre Hopkins in free agency, maybe I look at it differently. But I just think that their weapons might cost them games that they should win otherwise. But here's the thing, like can't I actually like can't wait for the Sunday night football game, Dolphins Patriots, because I want to see what the Patriots defense can do against that Dolphins offense. The Dolphins offense obviously is like it's the most threatening offense to go against because Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they pose a threat. They pose a threat to defenses the way nobody else does just by stepping on a football field. Obviously, not enough to win games without Tua, but with Tua, a very dangerous offense. I'd love to see what the Patriots defense does against a team like that. But yeah, like that's the thing. I think your defense is back. And the reason I think it's back is because I think your two rookies, your two high picks, Christian Gonzalez and Keon White, they both look ready to play football at a high level right now. Keon White gave Lane Johnson trouble. There's not a lot of pass rushers that can say that they've done that. And Christian Gonzalez played really well too. So for two rookies to look good immediately like that, that's a big boost from a talent standpoint. And the rest of their defense has been in that system for a long time, and they know exactly like their role and everything. So that's what it is. I think their defense is going to be very good. Dolphins look strong now, 100%, 100%. They're a very strong team, man. It's just about health with that team, specifically the two. I believe once we get our O line healthy, our offense will operate smoother. Yeah, that's all it is, man. Your offensive line, even without your guys, they look good. Like I thought, without their guards, they didn't look like a disaster. Like also they say this, they looked better than the Vikings line today, which also is banged up. But their two guards, like against such a dominant defensive front, they didn't do that bad. That's the thing. Once you guys get healthy up front, I think you'll be better. Big 3rd and 4 here, by the way. Really big 3rd and 4. 4-man pressure. The pressure gets home. Force the incompletion. Let's go. Jefferson running across the field on a crossing route against a zone defense. He ended up in the space that Zach Cunningham was holding down. I think Cunningham would have tackled him before the first down marker regardless, but the pressure got home there. Brandon Graham got home. Fletcher Cox got home. And Reddick on the weak side. Oh, no, it was Derek Barnett. So look at that, people. We had our two backup edge rushers in that play. A big 3rd down, a potentially like game-defining 3rd down, because I think that Minnesota not getting points after their touchdown is big, right? We put our two backup edge rushers in, and they both got home. Yo, Covey. Yo, is Joel, are you still in here? Are you still in the chat? Because, yo, Covey, that wasn't that deep. Like, that wasn't that short of a punt. Just go get that. Yo, Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is a gem, man. AFC gets stronger every year. Bad for us. They are getting stronger, but that's the thing that everything has to come to an end. And by the time you guys get strong, it might not be that strong anymore. So it is what it is. These things go in cycles. We're pinned at our own 7. Facts. Yo, that shit pissed me off. That play right there. Just catch that. Just gave the punt an extra 20 yards. I hate that guy, man. Again, like he does have a handful of good returns, but just like the bad moments, the big standout bad moments wash out all the like more understated good moments. Yo, against this front right now, read option to the left. They do it. Swift keeps it. Swift bounces the run outside, gets a good 12-yard. DeAndre Swift is having an excellent game running the football between the tackles. And the thing is, it's not just about the production. It's not the fact that he's getting the yards. If you guys are familiar with DeAndre Swift's game, he's a player that is a talented runner. But the thing about him is his decision making. Detroit used to never really give him a lot of handoffs. He'd get like a lot of the times, honestly, he'd get like 7 to 8 handoffs a game. They would get him involved in the passing game. But the reason why they didn't like to hand him the ball is because basically he's always going to decide, or he has a tendency to, oh shit, okay, cool. Pass to Goddard, but the thing is, again, like when you're throwing against these 8-man zones, you're throwing passes where defenders are close. And just the way that defender was sitting there, I thought he could have made a play on the ball. I don't think he saw what was coming, though, which is his problem. But like, decent play. Getting 5 yards against that defensive coverage is decent for us. This looks like a read option, 2 tight ends in line, 1 split to each side, Swift to the left. He just was sent there from the pistol. He was behind, read option to the left. Swift keeps it and runs up the middle. Oh, this is cash. This is cash. Swift, just go down, buddy. Just go down. Just go down. Don't fumble. So, yeah, back to Swift, right? Swift is a player that has a tendency to go for the big runs and decide not to take the sure thing up the field. So, like, instead of going up the field to get 5 yards, he's going to cut to the outside to try to get 20. And he leaves a lot of yards on the field in those contexts. He hasn't done any of that in this game. He's done such a good job just running between the tackles, taking the sure yards. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing running performance from him from a decision-making standpoint. DeAndre Swift again takes the 9 yards up the middle. Yo, what's it called? Dallas Goedert is getting banged up. Yo, did you see him talking shit to the Vikings defensive players after that run? See, this is what this does to our team. When we get these long drives going, running the ball, it gets the offensive linemen gassed. They start taunting. Like Dickerson and Mailata, they love taunting. And like they love like getting into it and talking shit after they block. And then Goddard does the same. And now Penny is into the game. Penny is into the game with Swift needing a rest. Scott is out of the game. Penny up the middle gets a good 5 yards. Thing to watch with Penny being on the field, right? These read option plays with quarterbacks and running backs that don't have familiarity, there's a high risk for fumbles. Is Penny hurt? Is he getting worked on? He doesn't look concerned or anything. It looks like he's just getting some. Oh, he's up. He's up. He's fine. Dope. Give him a rest, though, because give Penny some run right now. Yeah, he's got his helmet on. He's fine. Man, let's go. Look, Swift has put a very good performance in with Gainwell back. I think that's a solid 1-2 punch. Let's see what Penny can give us because Boston Scott looked good too. All right. Pressure. It's picked up. Dump off to Penny. Penny with the ball. Takes 5 yards. So the Vikings brought a lot of numbers there, and the line picked it up very well. So I'm starting to see the offensive line getting some things going. I'm starting to see that what I expect this offensive line to do on a night in, night out basis, I'm starting to see them getting up to that level. I think running the ball has helped them just with their confidence and everything, just getting some momentum. Is Dickerson still in the game? That number looks, no, that is Dickerson. Two tight ends in, another read option. Penny with the keeper. Penny goes up, gets 2 yards. 3rd and 3, people. 30 seconds to go. So the clock is going to wind down down to the end of this quarter. Are these all these running backs aren't scared of getting hit like Sanders was? Yeah. So this is these guys are physical runners. They'll run right into contact. 100%. 100%. They got him. They got it offside. Harrison Phillips, come on, man. Yo, the coach is pissed. Yeah, the Vikings are gonna go to 0-2, people. It's what it is. 4 fumbles. Oh, it's a neutral zone infraction. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna get a very good look at Rashad Penny here, and I don't think he's only had 2 touches, 3 touches so far. I don't think he's looked bad or anything. Like I don't think he's not here because of like some issue. Um, I know he was inactive in the last game. If you look at this game here, clearly he's 4th in the pecking order. But yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like there's something wrong with him. They say he looks sluggish and he looked out of shape or some shit in training camp. I don't see that from the 3 touches I've known. I back my team stupidly. You have to know me long enough. 11 wins is a hope. Nah, do your thing. Go ahead. Like it's not a crime or anything. Fandom is about delusion for some people. I respect it. Oh man. NFL commercials are still on top. Where are you watching from? Like, are you from the UK or are you from America or from somewhere else? I'm just curious as to what coverage you get, because I'm from Canada and I get a lot of Canadian commercials during NFL games. If I'm watching a game legally, if I'm watching an illegal stream and it'll be an American feed, I see all different commercials. So it's interesting because like there's a lot of commercials that I think American commercials are a lot better. My Canadian commercials during NFL coverage, it's not the same. Um, boy. Been live for 2.5 hours. Oh, you live in Maryland. That's dope. Yo, yo, Murtaza's comments crazy. I'll get to that in a minute. You live in Maryland. Okay, so I live in Toronto. So like I'm driving distance from Philly. Oh, actually, real random. I'll be in Philly for Eagles Commanders in a couple weeks, October 1st. That'll be fun. Hopefully I get to see a blowout. But yeah, so obviously you get American commercials. They're going to be better than the commercials I get to watch. I'm watching on Sky Sports NFL. So you probably get UK commercials then, right? This is what we call in Chicago. See, I'm not just going to say what it is, but this is what it is. And see, this is the thing, Murtaza, right? All the flashy shit that we do in the passing game, it tends to happen basically off the back of this, right? This is something we always have to establish. I think what's happened so far this year is that like when we try to get cute with the football game before we establish the run, teams actually don't end up struggling that much defensively because they'll either get to Hurts or they'll some disguised coverages fuck with Hurts or yeah, or they those are the main 2 things. It's the issue of disguising coverages and getting to Hurts. Now I think for what it's worth, the pocket will get better. But bro, all year last year, we would dominate teams on the ground and then it opens everything up and then we get teams, right? And it got to the point where last year teams, that's just they start out the games respecting the run from the very beginning. Oh, they're showing AJ Brown a little bit discouraged on the sidelines. Issue between him and Hurts. I think that gets figured out. Jalen Hurts with the ball. First pass to AJ Brown gets broken up by Byron Murphy. That play was very easily read by Byron Murphy. Canadian commercials are asked 100%. Leon, is that where you're tapping in from? Like, do you get to see those commercials like that? Oh, you guys get the same American ones. That's fire. Facts. Yeah, this is what we do, man. Commanders needs to be blown out for that game last year. 100%. 100%. And that's the thing, Murtaza, like the Bears figure the offensive line out. There's no excuse for them to not play like that. Yo, Hurts should have kept that. Hurts actually made the wrong read on that read option. That I guess that was just an inside zone call, and there was no option to tuck that. But he should have just kept that ball and gone. Even the edge rusher that you'd be reading, he collapsed. There was a crazy front. Like I don't know why that play wasn't audibled into a read option. But yeah, 3rd and 9. We'll see what happens on this third down. Rashad Penny in the game. Looks like we're giving an extended break to Swift. Oh, finally Hurts makes a play against that defense. So again, yo, sneak that on 4th down. They can't stop that shit. Again, that 8-man zone. Hurts fires the ball between 2 defenders. You can see the zip he got on that ball was necessary because if he passed that with no zip, that kind of shit could get picked off. You got to really, yeah, they're sneaking it on 4th down, and we get the 1st down easy. It's cash money. It's cash money. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Yep, that's what it is. And that's the thing. I don't understand why we couldn't run the ball in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, but that's basically why we lost. Like the shootout that we made that game is not the game that we needed to play. Now, I think Chris Jones is a big part of that, which is why I think he's really, really good. I also think Miles Sanders was a part of that because he played his worst football down the stretch, and I'm hoping that the different amount of backs that we rely on this year will help us with that, and then hopefully just like frankly, we can deal with a player like Chris Jones better this year. I think there's a holding penalty for the Eagles there. But that's a touchdown if not. Jalen Hurts finds A.J. Brown in the back of the end zone by the sideline. I think there's a holding flag bringing this back. Fuck. I have A.J. Brown. I just traded for A.J. Brown in a dynasty league this today, by the way. Yo, Rashad Penny was holding? The fuck? Yo, come on. That had no impact on the play, and that wasn't even a hold like that. Nah, man. He lost his balance going into that. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Hurts guy, I'm not moved by him. Yo, man, we don't rate your ball knowledge anyways, man. But no bullshit. Like he hasn't had a great game today. Quarterback sneak didn't work well for the Colts versus the Jags. Yo, we have a quarterback with insane squatting ability, bro. It is what it is. Get you a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds. 1st and 20. Numbers, it's picked up well. Another deep shot. This time to A.J. Brown. It's just past his fingertips, though. He's stepping over Justin Evans. Crowd looking for a flag. A.J. Brown looking for a flag. No flag on the play. Justin Evans. The crowd's going crazy. Is this a penalty? Oh, they're looking for the PI at the end? Yeah, that's not PI. Meaningless holding. Hurts would have gotten away 100%. The thing is, I think the way the ball placement is the reason that that's not getting called. I don't think he actually stopped him from catching that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Damn, y'all think it's DPI like that? Maybe. I don't know. I'm tripping. I'll see a replay. It'll work with time. How effective is the rushing game on bigger teams? It depends. The rushing game is honestly like to me, it's the most important thing before he attempts to catch. The thing is, though, Murtaza, like there is a rule in that of like if the ball is uncatchable, it doesn't actually matter what happens. So that's the thing. I think the issue there is I think the referee rules that ball uncatchable, which is an opinion, right? Could be, could not be. When I initially saw it, I thought the ball was a little bit too far out, but it is what it is. I'll see a replay. Maybe I'm tripping. He also slowed down. See, this is fair. This is valid. I'll look at it again. How effective is it on bigger teams? But so here's the thing, Ahmed. It depends. There's no correlation between a team being good and being able to stop the run. There have been a lot of good teams that can't necessarily or aren't that great at stopping the run. There have been great teams that are very good at stopping the run. It's as simple as it's about who's better, a rushing attack or a rushing defense. Um, and yeah, a lot of the teams, the top teams. I'm thinking about it now. I think the Ravens are stellar. The Niners are stellar. Although what I will say is though against the Niners, we ran the shit out of the ball in the NFC Championship game, and they knew that the running game was coming. So I look at that, I'm like, hmm. Now they have a Javon Hargrave, so now I want to see it again. But we'll get that matchup later in the season. But yeah, now running the game is very important for an offense. If you can't run the game, or if you can't run the ball, I'm always going to be skeptical of you winning big playoff games. They used to give him. Oh man, talking for this long is tough. Talking for this long is tough. It's cool though. It's fun. All right, I'm seeing this replay. Oh, okay, to be honest, the ball was closer to AJ Brown's fingertips than I thought. The ball actually grazes his fingertips. That's a PI. You guys are right. I just in my head when I saw that game or when I saw that play, the ball felt like it was further from his hands than it actually was. That ball grazed his fingertips. That's DPI for sure. That's two really rough penalty calls there, man. Give us one of them. Or yeah, penalty call and then a no call. All right, 8-man coverage again. Hurts sitting back, doesn't like anything, scrambles around. A fourth guy comes, takes the sack. Again, that 8-man zone coverage it's worked very well against us. And I'm trying to think about it, and I think that like the most effective thing to do, just go deep and just chuck up a deep ball. He should have took that shot to the left. I think that's Devontae. But yeah, we have to figure out how to play against that play because that play is working. You show the blitz, you back out, rush 3, drop 8 guys in a zone. They did it again. Here comes that extra defender. That's a face mask. That play is working too well against us. I don't like it. Took us right out of field goal range too. I'll be real though. I think at this point, if like looking at Jalen Hurts, just throw it up. Throw it up. At this point, you can't be looking for like the perfect thing. It doesn't exist against this kind of a play. Throw it up. You have receivers that make plays on the outside. Air it out to the back of the end zone where it won't be a pick. Your guy might catch it, they might not. But taking negative yardage 2 plays in a row, that's bad decision making. Trust me, I usually try and have a few talking points already. What do you mean? What is this in reference to? What is the trust me in reference to? These penalties are killing us. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. Oh, this type of shit happens again. Like the penalties I think are rough, or the 2 calls there, the no call and the call I think are rough. But I look at it like weather, injuries, and referees. You just can't be in control of. Like it's gonna suck sometimes. It's gonna work in your favor sometimes. But yeah, Jalen Hurts has to do better on his own of dealing with that play. It can't be that bad. Also, the offensive line. I understand on the first play, they can't block for that long because Hurts held on to the ball and the offensive line held their blocks for like a good 5 seconds and then they got to the quarterback. But on the second time that happened, the offensive line barely covered 3 guys. That was bad. Oh, bro, Ahmed, I'm not even talking about like thinking about things to talk about because I could talk about football all day. I just mean like physically, bro. Like physically, I just keep having to drink water to like keep myself being able to talk. I feel like I'm on the brink of like losing my voice, which I'm surprised because I'm obviously not talking at a high volume. But it's cool, it's fun. Time of possession, the Vikings have had the ball for 13 minutes. We've had the ball for 35 minutes. Play action. It looks like the pressure could get home. They just don't get there in time, and Osborne drops it. I think he saw that he was going to get smacked there because somebody was probably going to smack him, and he just dropped the ball. It'd be like that. I had hiccups midstream today. That's hilarious. That's so funny. I don't know what I'd do in the chat if I was watching a stream and the man was just it had hiccups. You know what it is? I get in the chat and be like, "Yo, I'll super chat you if you stop your hiccups in like the next 3 minutes and see what the man does. Make it a stop the hiccups challenge." Oh my god, the pass rush. Yo, the pass rush, it got home. You got to credit Kirk Cousins there, man. He made a great play. Stood in the pocket, took the shot, floated the ball in a perfect placement. And on a crossing route like that, like it is what it is. Like Slay can't clamp a guy on a crossing route like that. If the play design doesn't have defenders there to tackle the guy, that's gonna happen. But like, yo, Kirk Cousins, if he held onto the ball for another half second, he was gonna get decapitated there. Great play by Jefferson. A Vikings offensive lineman is down. Kadarius Toney will be proud. Yo, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. He saw Osborne there and he's like, "Yo, that's my guy." Have you seen Kadarius Toney talking shit on social media? He was talking shit about Giants fans and the Giants, which I'm all for. And then he was what was he doing? Oh yeah, he was like he said Pat McAfee's a goofy, which I think is really random because I doubt Pat McAfee had anything bad to say. He doesn't really seem like that kind of guy. I feel like he's very pro player, so I doubt he was talking shit about Tony. He might have just talked about the drops, but like that's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, Tony is a funny guy, man. Tony is a very funny guy. I'm starting him this week in fantasy, by the way. Um, I know he had a really bad week last week. I'm calling the bounce back. I also don't have a lot of options in that league, so I'm starting him in fantasy, and I'm hoping for the big performance from him. What was I checking my phone to look at? Fuck, I forgot. Oh yeah. I was gonna check the likes. All right, yo, this is decent. I got 13 likes on the video. Shout out to you guys. It's probably somebody in here that's watching right now that hasn't liked. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Trying to build this platform up, trying to get this content across the eyes of different NFL fans, get more kinds of fan bases in the chat and different fan bases on the panel. So make sure you guys run up the likes and run up the subs. Tony and Pickett have Antonio Brown syndrome. Oh, Pickens, like Pickens, the Steelers receiver. Yo, something serious happened to that player? Yo, another injury on the Vikings offensive line, man. War of attrition. And he's on the cart, man. I hope he's okay. Which one is that though? Is that the starting right tackle or the backup right tackle that's playing at left tackle today because of the Darisaw injury? Let me check. 74. That's that's Uyudo. That's the guy who's starting in place of Darisaw. So I have no idea who they're playing now. Yo, that just is what it is, man. Kirk made a great play there. Pass rush did their job. The coverage was respectable. That's just a good play design against that coverage. And Cousins did a good job of staying in there and taking a hit and delivering a good ball. Looks like a knee injury. That's rough. Who is playing left tackle? Questenberry. Yo, that's a fucking guard or center. Yo, they're playing some random guys at left tackle. Or a random guy at left tackle right now. Questenberry, you know. All right. Let's see how he holds up against Josh Sweat. They run behind him on first down. One of their more effective runs of the day. They get 6 yards. Yo, if the guy earlier in Slay, you gotta do a better job on the ball there. Good positioning on that route. Good positioning, but just Jefferson gets the ball there. Let's see this. Slay just missed the ball. Just missed the ball there. Jefferson stat padding when the game's over. That's funny. Yo, here's the thing, right? If they score a touchdown here, the game will be over if the Eagles make the best out of the next drive. For what it's worth, it's not guaranteed that they get a touchdown here. Oh shit. Oh wow. Yeah, the defensive line got home there. Cousins had to try to loop it over Josh Sweat to Oliver. Just can't get it done. Let me check. Let me see how these parlays are looking. Not looking good, bruv. I like that play call. I like that play call. I love those kind of a screen to the backside of the play. So the play looks like it's going one way. Boop, go to the other side on the screenplay. I like that, but I mean, I only got 4 yards out of it. It was well defended. I think the first guy, Mario Goodrich, could have stopped it a couple yards shorter, but it is what it is. Backup slot corners, missing tackles. That's gonna happen. 3rd and 6, big down here. I think the Vikings probably go for it if they can't get this. So Eagles got to be ready to play 2 plays in a row if they go no huddle, because they have been going tempo in big moments. Oh, Goodrich didn't follow Jefferson. He's late. He's going to go to Jefferson. He does. He's open. He catches it. You guys who didn't catch that, Jefferson motions from the right to the left. The slot corner does not go with him. He stays to the other side of the field. The linebackers have to tell him, yo, go. He goes late. He's not set. How is Justin? See, this is the type of miscommunications that happen in zone coverages, right? Or zone defenses. A lot of communication is required. And when you have backups coming in, when you have guys that aren't used to playing with each other, these kind of miscommunications and misunderstandings happen. Oh, Sweat almost got there. And then another miscommunication runs in it results in a wide open KJ Osborne touchdown. So this is what it is, people, right? We got about 3 backups playing in the secondary right now. Guys don't know what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. Busted coverages, two downs in a row. The defensive line is doing their job, but at the end of the day, they need a couple seconds to get there. And that's not happening right now. So the Vikings are back in this game. There's 9 minutes to go. They can definitely get another touchdown if we trick this possession off. So we have to get this possession to result in points. We only need a field goal, I think. I think that field goal on that last possession would have been so important, and that's why the 2 sacks that Hurts took were really bad. But we'll see what happens. The Eagles' run game has looked very good. I think they'll probably just run the shit out of this clock. But this is football, people. One mistake changes games. So much miscommunication on this drive. 100%, man. These here's the thing, like short week, early season, lots of injuries, backups with no experience playing. This is a disaster for a defense like this that requires people to constantly be communicating, to constantly communicate their assignments as they change, because that's what happens. Assignments change in real time. A formation can look like one thing. Everybody has a certain responsibility. One guy goes in motion. People have different responsibilities now. That has to be communicated on the fly in the middle of a play as things go on. As players go from one side of the formation to the next, people have to pass off assignments. This is how this defense works. You can't have things be this bad. But again, like 3 backups in the secondary, week 2, short week. It's ugly the way it could be ugly. I don't know why the scoreboard is showing that it's delayed. This game is very much happening. 7:41 to go. You gotta hope Philly ain't Chelsea become Charity FC. I hope so. I don't think they will be, but we'll see. We will see indeed. That's the last, commonality I need between two teams. I do not need the Eagles looking like Chelsea. But yeah, we're here, people. We're here. So much miscommunication on this drive. That's very true, my guy. That's very true. So I want to see on this drive again more of what the more of what we've seen earlier. Yeah, shout out Daniel. Happy to have you here in the chat, man. We'll see what the Colts can do. But yeah, take it easy, bro. But yeah, I just want to see more of what's worked, man. Run the ball, inside zone, read option. Set them up for big plays. Take advantage of the opportunities when they arise to make big plays, but don't force the issue. If they are gonna call these plays where they drop 8 guys into coverage, run on it. That's what I want to see. In situations where it looks like they're gonna do that shit where they show blitz and drop off into 8 guy in an 8-man zone, run on that. If it's 3rd and 15, run on that. Do it enough to where they don't feel comfortable running the play. Now, mind you, if it's 3rd and 15, you're fucked already, right? It is what it is. But yeah, just run the ball, inside zone, read option. It's worked like a charm so far. It's our bread and butter as a football team, and it's what we have to build everything off of. We're an amazing team because of our offensive line, first and foremost. That's got to be what takes us to victory. Swift has had a good rest with Rashad Penny playing that last drive. We need Swift to take us home. First play, read option, Swift, 6 yards, cash. All right, run 40 seconds off the clock and run it again. I don't want to see this ball being snapped with 7 seconds left on the play clock. Fuck that. Run it down to 1, get this play off. Get the first down and then do it again. 2nd and 3, a very advantageous situation to be in. Hey, Jalen, run the clock down. Running the play with 10 seconds to go. Why? Why are we adding time to this game? Got the first down. The play was perfect. Just milk more clock. Milk more clock, man. What are we doing? I think the era of football fans that played a lot of Madden, like very, very much keys fans into this type of thing. If this was Madden, I'm getting to 1 second on the play clock before running this play. They're running these plays at 10 seconds. Swift with the ball, gets another 4 yards. There we go. We do it again. 2nd down, we do it again. Brian Flores, you want to do these 8-man zones? We're going to run on it. 2nd and 7, 6:02 to go. The clock is running. Jalen Hurts has been snapping the ball with 10 seconds to go. It looks like he's probably going to do it at a similar time now. Switches Swift's positioning, hands it to him again. He gets 2 yards, 3rd and 4. Big down here. I'm not going to lie. If it gets to 4th and 1, I'm comfortable with the sneak. Just run this same play again. It's been getting 3 to 4 yards consistently. We run the same fucking play. It's 3rd and 5, apparently. That's interesting. But 3rd and 5, it's a passing down in a lot of offenses. Show the pass, run the same play. Run it to the left. We're going to pass the ball. Hurts finds A.J. Brown. Finds just A.J. Brown in the pocket of the zone. Big play. Hopefully A.J. Brown feels better now, getting a look finally again in the offense. He was looking frustrated at earlier part of the game. Yep. The zone defender to the other side of AJ Brown went up the field with Goddard a little bit, but there was another defender there. That's probably a mistake on his part. Harrison Smith was over the top. Number 21, whoever that is, did not have to carry his player like that. So he fucked up and opened up the space for AJ Brown. Inside zone, Swift. Swift finds the house call. 44 is fast. Fuck, 44 is fast. Swift takes it to the 4-yard line. Yeah, bro, that's my guy. Let's go. This is the explosive run from an athletic running back that we didn't always get last year. Miles Sanders probably gets tackled about 8 yards into the play. Kenny Gainwell doesn't have the athleticism to get that far either. Honestly, for so long in the Philadelphia Eagles offense, even LaShawn McCoy, he wasn't a guy that would like gash big plays in the running game like 30 to 40 yards. That wasn't his game. Neither was Brian Westbrook, to be honest. Like Darren Sproles was the closest thing we had. Swift up the middle, get him in the end zone. Tackled at the 2. But man, the running game, people, this is what it is. The running game is what gets the job done. This is what our football team is based on. This is what we always have to be. If a team has a great enough run defense to stop this in base defenses, good for them. But the reality is a lot of the players that it would take to do that, we have. We have a Jordan Davis. We have a Jalen Carter. We don't have to play them guys. We should be able to do this to a lot of football teams. And the teams that for some reason can stop this by themselves, we're just going to have to figure out other things against. But like if a team then stacks boxes and puts 7-man fronts against us consistently, that's when we beat them with AJ Brown and Devontae on the perimeter. But yeah, man, like this is what we always have to establish first. I talked about it on my game preview for the Patriots. I thought we had to establish the run before we get the passing game going. We never quite established the run. Part of it, I think, is because we didn't get Swift going. We focused on Gainwell, which I think was a bad decision. But yeah, we can do this against almost every team in the NFL. We always should. Jalen Hurts, read option, gives it to Swift, bounces, gets to the end zone. Swift was hooping today. First touchdown in an Eagles uniform. Big play. Honestly, our player of the game today. He makes it look really fucking strange that Gainwell got all those carries in week 1. He makes it look like a he makes that decision look very strange, but we're in a good spot, people. We're in a good spot. Man, we have Swift. That's the thing. I like Gainwell too. I just think Gainwell as a complimentary back is good. Boston Scott looked good today. Penny didn't look bad either. We have 4 guys. We can play this kind of football. All right, let me see what this is doing for my fantasy team. What's the other league? Oh, jeez. Yo, there's a league where I have Jefferson, I have Smith, and I have Swift. I'm smoking somebody in that league. It's the league I'm in with Murtaza. I had him on the bench. Yo, you fucked up. You fucked up big time. Who did you bench him for? I'm curious now. Yeah, this is what we can do. We can bludgeon teams with the ground game. Let's just keep doing that. Let's not throw into disadvantageous situations, guys. I think our offensive coordinator is he's starting to get his footing. I think it'll probably get better as the season goes on. But looks like a 2-0 start. I'll take those wins as we figure things out. I'm not so mad, people. Oh, see that's not that bad of a decision. I understand that. ETN is great. Vikings with the ball, 4:13 to go. They have two timeouts. They need two scores. Osborne drops the ball. Osborne, my guy is out here looking like Kadarius Toney. For real. This is a terrible game from him from a drop standpoint. He's made his plays. Obviously, he caught a touchdown. Yes, bro, Osborne has butter fingers. That guy's that guy's fucking up. So Jefferson got his yards again, but he hasn't had a touchdown yet. So guys, next week, if you're a betting man, bet on Justin Jefferson to score a touchdown. He is not going 3 games without scoring. That's a pick. Oh my God, he caught it. Wow. Yo, Kirk Cousins threw that to Jefferson where Slay was on him and Slay went for the ball. And I thought he would get it. He undercut that route perfectly. The ball just went through his hands. He got the tackle anyways. That's crazy. That should have been a pick. Brandon Graham forces Cousins to check it down to Madison, who gets past Cunningham. There's a holding penalty on that call, I'm pretty sure. Fakest hunt. No, bro, it's at, I think it's pushing 150 now. Fakest 150 I've ever seen. But yeah, we need to get our guys back defensively. I still really like what the defensive front did. Let's look at some of these stats. So Kirk has 294. Honestly, how do I feel about that? On 35 attempts, so it's not an efficient 294. The thing is bro, we're just we're so vulnerable to certain things. Like we're so vulnerable to things over the field. We're so vulnerable, like the middle of the field. We're so vulnerable to like miscommunications between the guys who are like don't have any experience or aren't used to playing with each other. Like there's certain things that are such weak spots for us. My personal opinion is I think we'll make a trade to address the linebacker position because with our linebackers right now, however you think about them, right? And I think they're not playing well, but like whatever. If you're gonna say they're playing good, your argument would be in the running game because they're doing okay in the running game. They are doing bad in coverage. Our linebackers, even Kobe Dean last week, like he was just like at best okay, but he had his struggles as well in the passing game. We need a coverage linebacker. I think that's the piece that we're gonna trade for. I think with safety, we're gonna just stick with Blankenship, and we're gonna wait for Sidney Brown to develop over the course of the season. I think Sidney Brown would have to look really bad at the trade deadline for us to trade for a safety. I think we're just gonna ride it out with Blankenship and Sidney Brown. Um, I think we're gonna trade for linebacker. So I think at that point we get healthy, we get a linebacker in. We'll figure that part out, and then you'll actually see this defense cook. But before that, we're gonna have our vulnerabilities, and certain kind of teams that have weapons are gonna be able to beat us. Where are we at with the? It's fourth down. No, I'm not getting that, but Hawkinson gets the fourth down conversion. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get a snap off before the 2-minute warning. The secondary is too inexperienced. It's too inexperienced. It's banged up. It's a big issue, but I think we'll figure it out as the season goes on. And I think like it's gonna put us in a position where these kind of games are gonna be like memorable for people. So people are gonna think our secondary's ass. They don't know how many guys we're missing. So that's cool. It's what it is. I think you need a safety in the mold of Kyle Duggar. Yes, a Kyle Duggar would be great. The thing is Kyle Duggar is actually the mold that Sidney Brown is. So our rookie 3rd-round pick that we drafted from Illinois, a very good secondary in college, he is actually in that mold. To be honest, it's pretty interesting that you say that because if there were to have to be a pro comp for Sidney Brown, Kyle Duggar is that kind of a player. Sidney Brown is really athletic. He's fast. He's physical. Smacks the shit out of people. He's a very physical hitter. Um, Similarly, like the way Duggar isn't exactly a coverage guy, neither is Sidney Brown. So it's actually so interesting you say that, because that is the kind of prospect that we have, that we're developing, and we hope at some point is going to be ready to play. But he's not ready to play football yet in the starting lineup. And like I said, I think Justin Evans, the guy playing safety for us right now, he's just there as a placeholder. Um, but yeah, it's fascinating that you say Duggar. I like Duggar, by the way. I liked him even in college going into the draft. It was so fitting that the Patriots ended up with him, because he's such a like Bill Belichick player. But yeah, from like, he came from a very small school. He was one of those players that was a popular draft sleeper for a lot of people, and of course Belichick got his hands on him. What? We've been trying to address safety and linebacker issues for years. The thing is we're always going to have issues at those positions, because those are the positions we devalue. Fifth fumble. Fifth fumble. Mario Goodrich got the fumble this time. Justin Evans with 2 fumble recoveries and a forced fumble. That's hilarious. GG's for real. GG's for real. Yeah, it was a free play. That was a deep penalty. That was holding on the offense too. Oh, it's offside on the defense? Yo, who's offside? Who's 97? Oh, Kentavia Street, you're a criminal. You're a criminal. Oh, he didn't even jump offside. He was just lined up in the neutral zone. You're a criminal. That had nothing to do with anything. It took away a fumble. I mean, it's not going to matter because this game's over anyways, but guys, come on. Come on, you can't be doing that shit. That's so like such an elementary error. Pass rush gets home. Cousins, they better not call that. They better not call that. No, that's the thing. Like, I think this gets talked about a lot, and I don't understand why people don't understand the rule. Defenders are allowed to make contact if they're making a play on the ball, because they don't have to just let you catch the ball because they're in a certain position. If I'm making a play on the ball, I can get some contact. I can't just like kill somebody and just like, oh my God, that's another almost pick by Slay. Slay has had 3 passes that he should have caught. Like he came like inches from catching, but he just couldn't get the catch at the end of the day. Yo, where's Joel at? Yo, that's another 160. That's a Fugazi 160. We dial up the pressure. Nobody gets home. Hawkinson gets the touchdown. So they have 2 timeouts. There's about 1:12 left. I think what'll probably happen now is like they'll go for the onside kick, or maybe they'll get it. Probably not. And then if we get the ball, we can kill about 50 seconds. So they could get the ball back with like 20 seconds to go. But yeah, at the end of the day, they're just gonna go for the onside kick here. Yo, the Vikings though really torching the Eagles defense from a fantasy standpoint, because to get to 28 points, I think that's -1 from the points scoring side of things. The run game will put the game to rest. Here's the thing: it's just about the onside kick, bro. That's what it's gonna come down to. Onside kicks 5.4% since the rule change. All right, the hands team got to get out there and get this onside kick. Yo, I don't know what O'Connell is complaining to the referee about. You guys, the game is almost over, and you guys got your you guys got your touchdown. Like, what is there to complain about that's meaningful? So he's laying the ball on the ground. So this is going to make for a unique kicking style or onside kick style. Just seeing in a group chat right now, one of my boys is in a fantasy league going up against Hawkinson and Swift. That's tough. That's tough. That's very tough. Those guys aren't even like serious fantasy options or anything. But to get dunked on the way he's getting dunked on right now by those two, that's tough, man. Hate it had to be my guy. Hate it had to be my guy. All right, Michael Clay, you're a pretty suspect special teams coordinator. I don't know if I've seen your hands team before, but hopefully that they do their thing. Vikings attempting the onside kick. They kick it to Devontae Smith, who recovers the ball very easily. No penalties, guys. No penalties. Goodrich, don't beef. Don't beef. Okay, 109 to go. We will kill this clock at worst case scenario to 19 seconds, then punt it and have the Vikings have the ball with 12 seconds. No timeouts, probably in their own end. You just have to not fumble the ball and you win this game, Philadelphia. Um, Again, you played a very, very like sloppy game, a lot of mistakes. You're not playing like a team that's serious at this moment, but hopefully things straighten out as time goes on. Swift 3 yards, timeout, Minnesota. But yeah, so this is what I will say though. Second game in a row where the Eagles at some point had a lead that was 16 points or bigger. They obviously had a 16-point lead in New England, and they had I think a 20-point lead in this game. I haven't particularly liked how they've gone about managing those leads, and I think a big part of that is like just the dumb shit they do in terms of play calling, which I think will get better as the season goes on. But this is definitely a team offensively that doesn't have an identity yet, and it's really weird considering that they had such a clear identity last year, and the play calling change went from a guy who was obviously on the staff last year to another guy that was on the staff who was like there to watch all of it last year. So why we're having such a hard time settling into a way of doing things, I don't understand, but that's definitely happened. Swift up the middle on 3rd and 6, gets stuffed, and the play clock will run now. There's a 15-second gap. So we will probably punt the ball away, and they'll probably have the ball with like 9 seconds to go. Yo, there he is, people. There he is. Shout out my guy Jez, turning up again. 2-0 football team. I don't know how long Jez will be here. Probably not a long time. But yeah. While he's on the bandwagon, the Eagles are undefeated. Yo, make a man jump offside. Make a man jump offside. Make a man jump off. Yo, what are you doing, Dallas Goddard? Oh, I think maybe we wanted that to give Siposs more space. "13 seconds on the clock. We punt the ball." If I like what I'm seeing, I'm making a permanent move. Yo, here's the thing. You're probably not liking what you're seeing from the team. But I mean, the results are at least pretty good. And I think the team will get better as the season goes on. A lot of young players adjusting to new roles. This game we're missing players because it's a Thursday, so there's certain guys that would play if it was a Sunday game that just aren't, and then more guys got hurt in this game. So I think we'll get better as the season goes on, as our new coaching staff settles in. But yeah, like obviously the games have been rough so far. Yeah, that's what I was saying last week already. Big facts. Big facts. The fact that that even had to be announced or like decided upon, of course, Minnesota's declining the 10-second runoff. All right, Sipos, you got to punt this shit out of bounds. Yo, shout out Ringo. Big tackle. Big tackle. 7 seconds to go. You just have to not give up. So, I mean, I think Minnesota here is probably going to try to take a quick shot to get some yards and then get from in Hail Mary range. Trying to think where they are. Cousins, like, I don't know. Cousins could probably get a Hail Mary off from like the 45. Hey, why did my... There we go. Eagles out here taking timeouts to get this shit right at the end. There's not much to get right, man. Minnesota's just going to try some wild shit. It's probably not going to work. Just don't put dumbasses on the field. This blowout is crazy. Yo, that's the thing, right? Like, the fact that this game was a blowout at some point and should have stayed a blowout. Again, just like bad management down the stretch. And, the defense is looking like the way it's like formed right now with the personnel, it's really shaky. Now, for what it's worth, I think Baker will probably get cooked next week. I think he's one of the worst kind of quarterbacks for this kind of a thing. For this kind of a defense. The worst kind of quarterbacks to have against this kind of a defense. Oh, Cousins is just milking this clock out. He's going to try the Hail Mary from here. This is so stupid. Even if they catch this, even if they caught that, they can't do anything. Wow. That was one of the dumbest endings to a game I've seen. You did not have a chance trying that. If you're going to do that, what? Yo, like I said, you need to get the pass short first so that you can get some. Because, like, hold on, that ball fell at like the 20-yard line. So you needed to get 20 yards quickly, leave 1 second on the clock, and then throw to the end zone. If you're going to throw from there, and keep that as the last play, throw it short, let guys lateral the ball, see what you can do. That gave you no chance. That was so dumb. Eagles get out of there with a win. Vikings with the backdoor cover. I think the Vikings were favorites by, or the Eagles were favorites by 6.5. So if you bet on the Vikings, you get the cash out on that bet. If you bet on Eagles or you bet on Vikings +6, I think that's a wash. Vikings will be Vikings. See, this is the thing. This is why I wasn't really worried like that. Because the Vikings are going to Viking, right? We're not going up against a serious team. Kevin O'Connell, Micah fired. 300ZX says Winter Surfer sent me here. Oh, big up to you and big up to Winter Surfer, by the way. I don't know how and where he sent you from. Is he streaming somewhere or did he message this to you? But regardless, shout out to my guy Winter Surfer, real one. NFL show, people, Sarcasm City. Check out the Kick. The NFL show will be during the Monday Night Football game. You'll see me. You'll see Winter Surfer. You'll see Peter, Eddie. You'll see Murtaza. We'll be talking this week's football. At some point, we'll probably have to talk about Eagles on that show. Oh, from Twitter. Oh, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. All right, I see what he tweeted. But yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy. Big up Winter Surfer if he's tapping in. Um, and shout out to you for being here. 300ZX. Yo, subscribe to the channel. NFL content, Sunday night football streams guaranteed every week. Doing a recap of the day's football and a watch long for that game. Um, yeah, Thursday night football, depending on the game, the matchup, and my availability, and then weekly previews for all the footballs. So that's what it is, people. A lot of content coming on this channel. Shout out to everybody that's still here. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I want to get my subscribers up. I need to get more people in here consistently. I'd love to get a fan from every football team in the chat and a fan from every football team on the panel at some point. If you watch this stuff and you would want to be on the stream, let me know. I can very easily have people on the streams. I'd love to hear from more people. I'd love for these streams to be more conversational and less just me talking to you. But yeah, so for that to happen, I need the channel to get bigger, and I need your help to do that. So if you're in here, man, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna wrap this stream up here. It's been a long stream, nearly 3.5 hours. I've been in here grinding. It's been a great time. Eagles got the win. Wasn't a good win, but it's early in the season. We have injuries. You just got to get the wins on the scoreboard or in the standings and figure things out as you go. I think we're going to be fine. Obviously, you saw some good things. The big positive that I saw today is that it looked like we learned that running the football is something we can do, and we committed to the running game. That was an important thing to figure out for us because we've been doing some dumb shit. So it was good to see that. It was good to see, obviously, the deep balls to Devontae. It wasn't good to see how Hurts was so easily confused by basically Flores's his version of what Belichick did last week. Hurts got to figure that out. A part of it, I think, is pre-snap. The pre-snap stuff is worse than the post-snap because when we would run blitz beating plays into that play where the Vikings show blitz but then back out into an 8-man zone, you've lost the down already once the play starts. That's something that has to be figured out pre-snap. The fact that we couldn't figure something like that out pre-snap, that was bad. And that's where the improvement has to be, right? Hurts's decisions to take off and just take a few yards or to take the check down in those moments, that's fine. But again, pre-snap, you have to find yourself not in that situation. We need to run against those looks. If they and that's what I think we really figured out at some point is we can just run against this defense because it neutralizes that play. But I want to see better from Jalen Hurts. I want to see better from an offensive coordinator and just offensive staff in general. I don't have any worries about the receivers. I don't have any worries about DeAndre Swift. I don't have any worries about the offensive line. All the eyes are on Jalen Hurts and the offensive staff because things don't look right, and it's on you guys to figure it out. I believe in them. I do think it'll happen, but it does have to be stated right now that this isn't good enough. And I know I know better than this is possible, and that's just what I want to see. So defensively, I'm really happy with the defensive line. Obviously, not happy with the safeties and the linebackers. I think the corners were fine. Obviously, Jefferson got his, but I think Slay had a good game. He was very close to getting a couple picks, very close to forcing some incompletions. You put somebody on an island against Justin Jefferson, you're going to get got. So I think despite Jefferson's stat line, Slay had a good game. Job had a very bad play against Addison on the deep ball. But honestly, aside from that, for a guy who's so young and inexperienced, Job was okay. Goodrich, I think, messed up a couple times, a couple costly mistakes, but obviously he forced a fumble. That should have counted. Contavia Street really messed that up. He's a criminal. Team only gets 17 games a season, so they have to click early if they want to go far. I agree, but you know what it is, right? Damn, am I really going to go on this rant again? I am. So the thing about the Eagles, right? The Eagles have made a choice as a franchise over the last couple of years to really lean into the idea that aggregated wear and tear on the body does lead to certain kinds of injuries in football, mostly being muscular injuries and ligament injuries. So you look at your Achilles tears, your ACL tears, and then certain other muscular injuries, right? So the idea is that to take an analytical approach to how to stop that. And what the result has been is that we practice less than any other team in training camp. We have the least intense training camp. And consequently, while we're healthy in a lot of ways, and obviously we did pick up our fair share of injuries, but a big part of that is playing on a Thursday game and not getting a full week of rest to have guys recover from week one. But the trade off for being healthy is being this unprepared for the season because we just don't look sharp. And when you have this many new pieces in important positions, you need the time to get sharp, and you need the time on the field specifically to get sharp. So that's the thing of you only have 17 games. That's a very valid reason, but that is heightened if you're losing games. If you're winning games, you have a little bit of wiggle room to especially with the schedule we have, it's fine. You can figure things out. If we were 0-2, then it's nope, it's got to get figured out now. But that's not the case. We're 2-0 with a very good opportunity to go 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 with the Buccaneers, Commanders game, which I'll be at, and the Rams game up next. Those are 3 opportunities to go 5-0. We don't have to be at our best in those games to get those wins. However, when we play the Jets in week 6, we're going to have to be pretty good at that point to fare well against the Jets defense, especially in New York. Now, I think our defense will do very well against Zach Wilson, but we're going to have to be better to do well in their defense, right? Week 7, I believe, is Miami. Yeah, we have to be hitting on all cylinders against Miami, 100%. So that's why the way I look at it. I think we have 3 games to get into the swing of things. We're going to get healthier for the next game. Hopefully, Hurts and Brian Johnson will have some things figured out. I ultimately think that we are going to get things figured out. But it's looked ugly so far. And it has to be stated that this isn't okay, because it's not. Because we are not, there's 0% chance of winning a Super Bowl if this is how we play going forward, for the whole season. So we used to have a crazy injury bug. It's true. We used to have some bad injuries. Andy Reid is known for having very physical training camps. And things change. So I'm going to call it here, people. It's been a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Again, on your way out, man, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned into the channel because more content is coming. Again, every Sunday night, you're going to get streams. A lot of Thursday nights, you're going to get streams. And then watch for the weekly streams where I preview things. So Friday, Saturday, you should get a preview stream for the week's games. And then before an Eagles game. So if it's a Thursday game, I'll have to do it on the Wednesday, but I'll also do usually on Friday, Saturday, a Eagles game preview stream. So that's what I'm doing on this channel consistently. I'll do other things as moments come up, but this is a lot of fun, and I want to do this a lot more. As long as they end the season 8-8 to qualify for the World Lows, bro, we're not going to have a record that bad. We'll be fine. But yeah, man, again, I'm ending the stream right now, 3.5 hours. It's been a long stream, but it's been a lot of fun. Stay tuned in because more content is coming.